Picture yourself standing on a Roman hill at dusk, the air warm with the scent of olive oil and baked bread. 7 hills cradle a city humming with life, chariots rattle, voices murmur, and lamps flicker like stars. What did it mean to eat in this empire, to share a meal under these skies? No pizza, no tomatoes, no modern comforts we crave. Yet their tables groaned with flavors we can barely imagine. Tonight, we'll wander through the kitchens, markets, and banquet halls of Rome, letting quiet stories of food and life lull you into sleep. These tales aren't loud or grand, they're soft, woven with the hum of an empire that's shaped our world. Stay with me, because these whispers of the past might just carry you to dreams. If you love the calm of Roman stories, subscribe now and join this nighttime journey through the empire. How many of us will gather under Rome's starry skies? Let's begin with a simple question. What filled a Roman's plate? Imagine a market stall, piled high with strange grains and fruits, the air sharp with vinegar and fish sauce. Romans loved their food, but it wasn't like ours. No bright red sauces, no cheesy slices. Tomatoes, so vital to Italian cooking today, were unknown. They grew far away, in lands the Romans never touched. Instead, their meals were a dance of the familiar and the strange. Wheat porridge, thick and steaming, was a daily staple. Olives, slick with oil, rolled in herbs, and garum, that pungent fish sauce, splashed over everything like a secret spell. Picture a baker kneading dough at dawn, his hands dusted with flour, the oven's heat warming his face. Bread was life-crusty dense, sometimes studded with seeds. But not everyone ate the same. A farmer's loaf was coarse, gritty with stone-ground flour, while a senator's bread was soft, sifted fine as dust. Food told stories of class, of power, of survival. Let's linger in a market, where voices haggle over leeks and lentils. The cobblestones are slick with spilled wine, and a stray dog sniffs at a dropped fig. Merchants shout, their stalls draped with garlic, braids, and dried fish. A woman buys barley for her family's supper, her coins clinking softly. This is Rome's heartbeat, not the marble temples, but the daily scramble for a meal. Food connected everyone, from slaves to yet it was never simple. Soil could fail, ships could sink, and hunger was a shadow that never left. So, as we drift through these stories, imagine the taste of a Roman day. The crunch of bread, the tanks of cheese, the faint salt of garum on your tongue. Let's step into a farmer's life, where the day begins with dirt and ends with a humble plate. Close your eyes, feel the empire's pulse, and let these tales carry you. Visuals of market mosaics, with baskets of figs and amphorae, would glow softly here. A faint sound of distant chatter, like a market waking up, could hum beneath my voice. For now, let's follow a farmer, his hands calloused, his table sparse but honest. What did he grow, and what did he eat? The answer lies in the fields, under a sky that feels endless. Stay with me, and let's find out. Dawn breaks over a Roman farm, the air cool and damp, smelling of earth and dew. A farmer rises, his sandals scuffing dirt floors, his breath visible in the early light. His fields stretch before him, wheat, barley, vines heavy with grapes. This is where Rome's food begins. In the soil he knows like his own skin. But farming isn't easy. The sun burns, rains fail, and pests creep in. Therefore he works from dawn to dusk, his back bent, his hands stained green. His meal waits at day's end, simple but earned. Porridge thick with barley, bubbles over a small fire. He stirs it slowly, the wooden spoon scraping clay. A drizzle of olive oil, a pinch of salt luxuries he guards like gold. Sometimes there's cabbage, boiled soft, or lentils stewed with wild herbs. No tomatoes, no chili to spark the tongue. Instead, he chews slowly, tasting the earth in every bite. Picture his table, a wooden slab, scarred from years of use, lit by a single lamp's flicker. His wife sets out a loaf, its crust cracked like parched land. They break it together, crumbs falling like tiny offerings. Cheese sharp and crumbly, might appear if the goats are kind, but meat, rare. A chicken's too valuable for eggs, a pig too costly to slaughter. Fish sauce, that garum, adds a salty kick, its smell lingering in the air. This meal isn't just food eats' survival, a quiet victory over hunger. The farmer's life is Rome's backbone, but it's fragile. One bad harvest, and his plate empties. Therefore, he prays to Ceres, goddess of grain, her statue rough-hewn in his yard. He pours a drop of wine into the dirt to plea for rain. His children eat less, their eyes big, their bowls half full. Yet there's warmth here, in the fire's glow, in the shared silence. Imagine a mosaic of a wheat field, golden stalks swaying, paired with the soft crackle of a hearth. The farmer's food reflects his world plane, rooted, enduring. But not all Romans ate like this. In the city markets buzzed with wealthier tastes. Let's drift to a baker's shop, where dough rises and ovens roar. The farmer's grain feeds Rome, but it transforms in the hands of those who knead and bake. What did a baker's day taste like? Picture a street, narrow and loud, where the scent of fresh bread pulls you in. The baker's world is flour and fire, sweat and skill. His bread feeds soldiers, senators, even slaves, each loaf a thread in Rome's vast web. But his life, like the farmer's, hangs on nature's whim. A drought starves his oven, a flood rots his stores. Therefore, he works with care, measuring grain like a miser, counts coins. His hands, dusted white, shape loaves that will never grace his own table. Let's step into his shop, where the air is warm and yeasty, and see what Rome's bread really meant. Stay with me. Let the empire's hum soothe you, and let's taste the baker's craft. The baker's shop is a cave of heat, tucked in a Roman alley where dawn barely creeps. Flour dusts the air, catching light like tiny snowflakes. His oven, a dome of clay, glows red, its mouth hungry for wood. He needs dew, his arms strong, his fingers quick, shaping loaves that will feed a city. The scent of baking bread spills into the street, pulling in barefoot children and hurried scribes. But this isn't a gentle craft. The work is brutal, hours long, burns common, sleep a stranger. Therefore, he rises before the stars fade, grinding grain, stoking flames, his face slick with sweat. His bread is Rome's lifeblood, from crusty rounds for soldiers to soft rolls for the rich. No tomatoes, no sauces to dip in, just bread, plain, chewy, sometimes gritty with millstone dust. He mixes spelt and barley, sometimes adding poppy seeds for crunch. A splash of garum might flavor a batch, its fishy temps a secret in the crust. Picture his counter piled with loaves, some marked with a cross, others round as shields. Customers jostle, coins flash, and the baker's voice cuts through the din. He's proud, but tired. His own meal, a broken loaf, maybe smeared with oil, eaten standing. Cheese or figs if he's lucky. Meets a dream as pigs go to market, not his plate. The farmer's wheat is his raw gold, but supplies never short. A late shipment, and his oven sits cold. Therefore, he haggles fiercely, his voice low, his eyes sharp. Slaves work beside him, their hands scarred, their lives not their own. Yet the shop hums with purpose. A tiny hut in Rome sprawl. Imagine a mosaic of a bakery, loaves stacked high, with the faint sound of crackling fire. The baker's craft binds Rome, every bite a link between field and table, but not all bread reached the poor. In grand villas, food was art, a display of power. Let's slip into a banquet hall, where senators recline and plates gleam. The rich ate differently, their tables a stage for excess. What did their feast hold, and why did it matter? Picture a room, draped in silk, where lamps cast shadows on painted walls. Servants glide, bearing trays of strange delicacies. No pizza, but flavors that dazzled. The wealthy craved spectacle, their meals a dance of status and taste. But even they faced limits. Supply chains broke, seasons shifted, and garum could run dry. Therefore, they planned with care, their cooks conjuring magic from what the empire offered. Let's linger in this hall where the air is heavy with spice and laughter, and taste the life of Rome's elite. Stay with me. Let the city's pulse calm you, and let's explore their world. A senator's banquet hall glows under lamplight, its air thick with myrrh and roasted meat. Guests recline on couches, their togas spilling like cream, their laughter soft as a summer breeze. Servants move like shadows, placing plates of peacock and dormice glazed with honey and herbs. No tomatoes, no passados, a centuries away. Instead, the table groans with lentils stewed in wine, oysters plump with brine, and bread so white it feels like a cloud. Garum drizzles over everything, its salty temps a whisper of the sea. Picture a mosaic floor, swirling with fish and vines, reflecting the flicker of oil lamps. The host smiles, his rings glinting, his power measured in every dish. But this isn't just food, it's theater. Every bite screams wealth, every flavor a boast. A single fig, carried from Egypt, costs more than a farmer's monthly wage. Yet even here, the empire's limits creep in. Ships sink, harvests fail, and exotic spices vanish. Therefore, the cook plans like a general, hoarding saffron, bartering for pepper. The guests don't notice they sip wine, red as blood, and nibble dates stuffed with almonds. Music hums, a lyre's notes blending with clinking cups. A servant fans the air, stirring scents of rosemary and smoke. The poor eat porridge, but here, food is art. A whole boar, its tusks gleaming, is paraded before cheers. Its belly, slit open, spills sausage Roman ingenuity at its peak. But indulgence has risks. Gluttony sickens, debts mount, and rivals watch for weakness. Therefore, the host balances excess with control, his smile never slipping. Imagine a fresco of a feast, vibrant with fruit and game, paired with the soft strum of strings. This is Rome's elite, Their tables a mirror of conquest, but not all feasts were grand. In tenements, families shared less, their meals a quiet fight. Let's drift to a crowded insula, where smoke curls and pots simmer. The urban poor ate simply, their food a shadow of the banquet's glow. What did their nights taste like? Picture a cramped room, lit by a single lamp, where a mother stirs a pot of beans. Her children huddle, their faces smudged, their hunger a constant guest. No garum here, just salt if they're lucky. Bread, stale and tough, is softened in broth. Yet there's love in this meal, in the way she saves the softest piece for her youngest. But survival is hard. Markets cheat, coins dwindle, and illness waits. Therefore they stretch every scrap, boiling bones for soup, trading gossip for a handful of lentils. Let's step into their world, where the empire's weight presses hardest, and see how they endured. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers soothe you, and let's taste their struggle. In a Roman insula, night falls like a heavy cloak, the air thick with smoke and sweat. These tenements stacked high, creak under the weight of families packed tight. A mother crouches by a small hearth, her pot bubbling with beans and scraps of onion. The room is dim, a single lamp spitting light, its wick curling like a tired sigh. Her children sit close, their eyes reflecting the flame, their stomachs rumbling. No tomatoes, no rich salt. Bread hard as stone, soaks in the pot, softening just enough to chew. Picture a cracked clay bowl, passed from hand to hand, each sip a small defiance against hunger. This is no banquet, but it's theirs. A neighbor's cough echoes through thin walls. A baby wails below. The city never sleeps, its hum a lullaby of chaos. But life here is fragile. A day's wage buys little, and markets favor the cunning. Therefore, she trades a mended tunic for a leek, a story for a pinch of salt. Garum, that elite staple, is a luxury she can't touch. Instead, she uses vinegar, sharp and cheap, to wake the tongue. Her meal is love, stretched thin but never breaking. Imagine a simple fresco family at a table, with the faint sound of a distant street. The poor ate to live, not to impress. Their food a quiet song of endurance, but even they dreamed of more. Festivals brought rare treats, public feasts where the empire fed its own. Let's drift to a temple square, where crowds gather and tables sag. On feast days, Rome shed its bounty, a fleeting gift to the masses. What do these moments taste like? Picture a plaza, lit by torches, where priests chant and meats. The air hums with garlic and roasted pork, a rare delight for those who know only grain. Citizens line up, their hands outstretched, their faces bright with hope. No pizza, but flatbreads, smeared with oil and herbs, pass from hand to hand. Wine, watered down but sweet, flows freely. But even here, the empire's rules hold. The rich eat first, their portions larger, their plates finer. Therefore, the poor wait, their hunger, a test of patience. Yet these feasts knit Rome together, a moment when class blurs and bellies fill. A child bites into a fig, its juice sticky on her chin, and for a moment, the world feels kind. Let's linger in this square, where laughter rises and torches flare, and taste the city's rare generosity. Stay with me, let Rome's hum calm you, and let's explore these fleeting joys. Torches blaze in a Roman plaza, their light dancing on stone columns and eager faces. It's a festival, Saturnalia perhaps, when Rome loosens its rules and shares its wealth. The air is alive with sizzling fat and crushed herbs, the scent of roasted pork mingling with warm bread. Crowds press close, their voices a soft roar, their hands clutching wooden plates. No tomatoes, no modern spices, just the empire's bounty, spread for all. Flatbreads crisp and oily, are torn apart, their edges dusted with rosemary. Wine thin but sweet splashes into cups, a gift from the emperor's stores. Picture a mosaic of a feast, vibrant with fruits and meats, paired with the faint clatter of plates. A child darts through legs, clutching a sticky date, his laugh bright as a bell. But this isn't equality. Senators sit at high tables, their portions lavish, while the poor wait in line. Therefore, patience is their price, their reward a rare taste of meat. A man chews slowly, savoring pork glazed with honey, his first bite in months. These feasts are Rome's glue, binding rich and poor in a fleeting dance. But they're brief. Tomorrow the poor return to porridge, the rich to their banquets. Therefore, this night matters every crumb, every sip a memory to hold. If these Roman stories are lulling your mind, click subscribe. It's free, and the empire has more secrets to share. Let's linger here, where the crowd hums and torches glow, and feel the city's heart. The festival feeds bodies, but also dreams. A woman saves a fig for her son, tucking it in her shawl. A beggar, usually ignored, shares a joke and a crust. This is Rome at its softest, its edges blurred by wine and firelight. But food wasn't just for eating, it was trade, power, survival. Let's slip to the docks, where ships unload grain and amphiry clink. Rome's hunger was vast, its belly fed by far-off lands. What did it take to keep a city of 1 million fed? Picture a harbor, wave-slapping hulls, the air sharp with salt and fish. Sailors shout, their hands rough, their cargo precious wheat from Egypt, oil from Spain, garum amphorae sealed with wax, stack high, their contents worth more than silver. But the sea is cruel. Storms sink ships, pirates lurk, and grain rots in damp holds. Therefore, merchants pray, their offerings small but desperate. A single ship's loss could starve a neighborhood. The docks are Rome's lifeline. Its food, a chain of risk and hope. Let's walk these wharves, where the empire's pulse beats loudest, and see how food arrived. Stay with me. Let Rome's whispers soothe you, and let's taste the sea's roll. The Tiber's banks hum at dawn, where Rome's docks pulse with life and salt. Ships creak, their hulls dark with seaweed, unloading sacks of Egyptian wheat and Spanish oil. The air bites with brine and fish, amphorae clinking as workers stack them high. Garum, that fishy elixir, sloshes in clay jars. Its scent sharp enough to wake the dead. No tomatoes arrive, here the new world's crops are centuries away. Instead, lentils, figs, and barley fill holds, each grain a piece of Rome's survival. Picture a dockside mosaic, ships bobbing under a pale sky, with the soft slap of waves beneath. A merchant counts, Amphiara's brow creased, his ledger but the sea is a thief. Storms swallow ships, their crews lost to Neptune's whim. Pirates raid, their blades quick, their greed endless. Therefore, every voyage is a gamble, every safe arrival a small miracle. A single lost cargo could spike bread prices, leaving tenements hungry. Workers, often slaves, haul sacks until their backs scream, their reward a crust and a curse. The docks are Rome's throat, but they choke easily. Grain rots in damp holds, oil sours, and garum leaks through cracked clay. Therefore, overseers watch like hawks, their whips idle but ready. A sailor prays to Fortuna, tossing a coin into the murk, hoping his next trip brings him home. This is no gentle trade. Blood and sweat coats every loaf on Rome's tables. But the city's hunger never sleeps. A million mouths demand feeding, from senators to street urchins. Therefore, the docks never rest, their rhythm a heartbeat of risk. Imagine a fresco of sailors, their faces weathered, unloading grain under torchlight. The empire's reach is vast, but fragile. One bad season in Egypt, and Rome starves. Merchants bribe officials, their coins greasing wheels, ensuring their wheat lands first. But even they fear the mob. Hungry crowds can riot, their anger a fire no legion can douse. Therefore, emperors hoard grain in vast silos, doling it out to calm the streets. The poor get free bread, a thin promise of peace. Let's linger by the water, where gulls cry and ropes creak, and feel the weight of Rome's need. Food isn't just sustenance, it's control, a chain binding empire to earth. But not all food came by ship. Gardens bloomed in Rome's shadow, their yield small but vital. Let's drift to a villa's plot, where slaves tend vines and herbs. What grew there, and why did it matter? Picture a garden, its rose neat, its air sweet with thyme and mint. No tomatoes, but cabbage and leeks thrive, their roots deep in Roman soil. Stay with me, let the empire's hum lull you, and let's taste the garden's quiet gifts. A villa's garden wakes under morning mist, its air cool, scented with thyme and damp earth. Slaves move silently, their hands plucking leeks, their baskets heavy with cabbage and dill. No tomatoes grow here, their red fruit is a future dream. Instead, rows of lentils and vines curl under a sky soft as wool. This garden feeds the villa's lord, his table rich with greens and oils, but it's no paradise. Soil turns hard, pests burrow, and frost kills tender shoots. Therefore, gardeners toil, their backs bent, their fingers roll. Picture a mosaic of a garden, vines twisting around a fountain, with the faint rustle of leaves. The villa's wealth depends on this plot. Its yield a boast of olives, green and bitter, drop into woven baskets, destined for oil that lights lamps and slicks bread. Herbs, rosemary, sajad flavor when garum's to dear. But slaves eat little of this. Their meal is porridge, thin and gray, spooned from a shared pot. The garden's bounty is for the master, not the hands that tend it. Therefore, they work with care, knowing a failed crop means a whip sting. The villa's lady strolls, her sandals soft on stone, inspecting rows of figs and pears. Her cook plans a feast, demanding perfect leaves for stuffed grape. But nature resists. Drought cracks the earth, rains drown roots, and birds steal fruit. Therefore, offerings to Pomona, goddess of orchards, sit at the garden's edge, a clay apple, a whispered prayer. The garden is Rome in miniature order over chaos, but only just. Imagine a fresco of workers, baskets brimming under a golden sun. These gardens fed the elite, but also markets, their surplus sold for coin. Yet the poor rarely tasted this. Their greens were wild, foraged from hills, boiled to mush. The garden's gate locked them out, its walls a line between want and plenty. But even the rich-faced hunger, a blight could strip a season's yield, leaving villas lean. Therefore, they stored roots in cool cellars, their foresight a shield against want. A slave girl chews a stolen mint leaf, its sharpness a tiny rebellion. Let's linger here, where bees hum and soil crumbles, and feel the garden's fragile pulse. Food was wealth, but also risk, its growth a dance with chance. But not all Romans ate from gardens or docks. Soldiers marched on grain and grit. Let's follow a legion, their boots heavy, their rations spare. What did a soldier eat, and how did it shape him? Picture a dusty road, men in leather and bronze, their packs bulging with wheat. No pizza, just hardtack and sour wine, their fuel for empire's wars. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers calm you, and let's taste their march. Dust rises under a legion's boots, the road stretching endless through Gaul's hills. Soldiers march, their armor clinking, their packs heavy with wheat and dried figs. The air smells of sweat and leather, the sun a hammer on their necks. No tomatoes, no rich stews, just hardtack, a biscuit so tough it cracks teeth. They soak it in posca, a sour wine that burns the throat but keeps them alive. Picture a camp at dusk, tents sagging, with the faint crackle of a fire. A soldier grinds grain on a stone, his hands steady, his ration a fistful of porridge. Garum, if he's lucky, adds salt to his bowl. It's fishy tense, a taste of home. But this isn't comfort. Rations are small, hunger a constant shadow. Therefore, they forage wild onions, bitter greens stirring them into a thin soup. A legion's strength is its stomach, but supply lines stretch thin. A late cart, and men weaken, their swords heavy. Therefore centurions count sacks like misers, doling out barley with a scowl. The soldier's meal is discipline, each bite a step toward victory. But nature fights back. Rain soaks grain, mold creeps, and rats gnaw sacks. Therefore, they guard stores like gold, their spears sharp for thieves. Imagine a mosaic of a camp, soldiers eating by firelight, their faces hard. Meat is rarer, hair snared, a pig stolen from a village. Wine, watered down, dulls the ache of a day's march. A young recruit chews slowly, his thoughts on his mother's bread, soft and warm. The empire's wars are won on these meals, but they're grim. Soldiers dream of banquets, but wake to dust and grit. Therefore, they joke, their laughter rough, sharing a crust under stars. The poor at home eat better some days, their porridge thicker. But a soldier's life is Rome's edge, his hunger a badge of service. Let's linger by the fire, where embers pop and voices murmur, and feel the weight of their packs. Food fueled conquest, but also rebellion. Mutinies sparked when rations failed. Swords turned on officers, but not all meals were grim. In forts, cooks worked small miracles. Let's slip into a legion's kitchen, where pots steam and knives flash. What did a cook conjure for men of war? Picture a stone hearth, its smoke curling, the air thick with barley and thyme. No pizza, but flatbreads bake on hot stones, their edges charred. A cook is apron stained, stirs a pot of lentils, his skill the legion's heart. Stay with me, let the empire's hum lull you, and let's taste a soldier's solace. A legion's kitchen hums at dusk, its hearth glowing in a fort stone hut. Smoke curls, thick with the scent of lentils and charred bread. The cook, a grizzled man with scarred hands, stirs a cauldron, his ladle scraping iron. No tomatoes, no bright sauces, just barley stew, thick with onions and wild thyme. Flatbreads bake on hot stones, their edges crisp, their centers soft. Picture a mosaic of a kitchen, pots steaming with the faint clink of spoons. Soldiers crowd the door, their helmets off, their hunger raw. Garum rationed tightly drizzles into the pot, its salty kick a soldier's joy. But this isn't home cooking. Supplies are scarce, wood damp, and time short. Therefore, the cook works fast, his curse is soft, his knife a blur. A single pot feeds a century. 80 men with hollow bellies. Meets a rumor, maybe a goat, its bones boiled for broth. Therefore, he stretches every scrap, tossing in foraged greens to fill the bowl. The empire's wars rest on his skill, but he's no hero. A bad stew earns grumbles, a good one silenced the highest praise. Imagine a fresco of soldiers eating, their faces lit by fire, spoons scraping clay. The cook's own meal is the dregs, eaten standing, his back to the wall. Wine, sour and thin, washes down the grit, but danger lurks. A spoiled batch can sicken a squad, a short ration spark a brawl. Therefore, he tastes everything, his tongue a guard against ruin. A young soldier, new to the ranks, savors a warm bite, his first in days. The kitchen is the legion's pulse, its warmth a shield against the cold, but it's fragile. A raided supply line, and pots sit empty. Therefore, the cook hoards spices his satchel, a treasure of cumin and dill. The poor in Rome eat simpler, but soldiers envy their roofs. Here, rain leaks, wolves howl, and death waits. Let's linger by the hearth, where steam rises and voices hush. and feel the cook's quiet pride. Food was survival, but also morale. A full belly kept swords loyal. But not all Romans fought or cooked. Priests ate too, their meals tied to gods. Let's drift to a temple, where offerings smoke and altars gleam. What did a priest's table hold? Picture a marble hall, its air heavy with incense, where bread and wine honor Jupiter. No pizza, but sacred cakes, dusted with salt, sit on silver plates. A priest, his robes white, breaks bread for the divine, his hands steady. Stay with me, let Rome's whisper soothe you, and let's taste the god's share. A temple's marble hall glows under dawn's light, its air thick with incense and wax. A priest, robed in white, stands before Jupiter's altar, his hands steady, his voice a low chant. Bread, round and salted, rests on a silver plate, an offering to the gods. No tomatoes, no modern flavors, just spelt cakes, baked pure, their crusts dusted with ash. Wine, red and unwatered, sparkles in a bronze bowl, its scent sharp. Picture a mosaic of a sacrifice, flames curling, with the faint crackle of burning. Herbs. The priest's meal is sacred, shared with the divine. He breaks the cake, half for Jupiter, half for his table. Garum even here adds salt, its fishy tang a humble note. But this isn't indulgence. Ritual binds every bite, each crumb a prayer for Rome's strength. Therefore he moves with care, his knife precise, his eyes on the flame. The gods are hungry, their favor fragile. A flawed offering moldy bread. Sour wine could curse the city, therefore acolytes inspect every loaf, their fingers probing for flaws. The temple's kitchen, hidden behind columns, hums with quiet work. Slaves knead dough, their sweat unseen, their hunger ignored. The priest eats well figs, cheese, olives but sparingly, his role a balance of divine and human. Imagine a fresco of a priest, altar smoking, his face calm. The poor offer less barley gruel, a whispered vow, but the gods hear all. Temples fed Rome's soul, their rituals a shield against chaos, but even priests faced want. A lean year, and offerings shrank, altars bare. Therefore they stored grain in stone vaults, their foresight a gift to the gods. A young acolyte, his hands flowered, dreams of the banquet he'll never taste. The temple's air is heavy, its silence a weight. Let's linger here, where smoke rises and chants hum, and feel the priest's solemn duty. Food was worship, but also power. Altars drew crowds, their loyalty bought with bread. But not all Romans prayed. Merchants traded, their meals a dealed seal. Let's slip to a taberna where wine flows and plates clatter. What did a merchant eat, and why did it matter? Picture a dim shop, its counter-stained, the air ripe with garlic and oil. No pizza, but flatbreads, smeared with lentils. Stack high, a merchant, his tunic creased, shares a crust with a client, their talk of grain and gold. His table is business, each bite a bond. Stay with me, let the empire's hum lull you, and let's taste the merchant's world. Asterisk. A taberna's dim light spills onto a Roman street, its air thick with garlic and spilled wine. The merchant leans over a stained counter, his eyes sharp, his hands breaking a flatbread smeared with lentils. No tomatoes, no spicy sauces, just olives, slick with oil, and cheese that crumbles like chalk. A jug of wine, watered but warm, sits between him and a client, their talk weaving deals for wheat and garum. Picture a mosaic of a shop amphory stacked, with the faint clink of coins. The merchant's meal is a handshake, each bite sealing trust. He offers figs, their sweetness a bribe, their cost a calculated loss. But trade is a tightrope, a bad deal, and debts pile like stones. Therefore, he watches every gesture, his smile fixed, his mind racing. His table is modest, but strategic. Bread, beans, a splash of garum to impress. The poor eat less, their bowls bare, but the merchant's hunger is for profit. His wife stirs a pot at home, her stew of leeks and barley a quiet echo of his deals. But risks loom, markets crash, ships vanish, and rivals cheat. Therefore, he bribes dock guards, his coins small but heavy. The taberna hums, its benches packed with sailors and scribes, all eating the same bread, oil, a scrap of fish. Imagine a fresco of a market, hands exchanging goods, voices low. The merchant's world is Rome's veins, is trade feeding the city's pulse, but is no lord. Taxes bite, thieves prowl, and a fire could gut his shop. Therefore, he saves, his strongbox hidden, his dreams of a villa far off. A boy sweeps the floor, his reward a crust, his eyes on the merchant's plate. The city's wealth flows through these tables, but it's slippery, hard to hold. Let's linger here, where cups clink and deals hum, and feel the merchant's restless heart. Food was currency, but also risk, each meal a step in a larger game. But not all Romans traded or ate in shops. Slaves lived on scraps, their meals a master's whim. Let's drift to a household, where chains clink and pots simmer. What did a slave eat, and how did it shape them? Picture a kitchen, its air heavy with steam, where a slave girl stirs porridge. No pizza, just gruel, thin and gray, ladled into a cracked bowl. Her hands, rough, move fast, her hunger a silent ache. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers soothe you, and let's taste the slave's world. A villa's kitchen hums at twilight, its air dense with steam and onion. A slave girl, her hands rough, stirs a pot of porridge, its gray surface bubbling slow. No tomatoes, no rich flavors, just barley gruel, thin as water, flavored with a pinch of salt. Her bowl, cracked clay, waits in a corner, her meal the master's scraps. Picture a mosaic of a kitchen, pot steaming with the faint scrape of a spoon. The villa's lord dines on peacock and figs, but she eats to work, not live. Bread, stale and tough, might come if the baker's kind. Garum, a master's luxury, never touches her lips, but hunger is her shadow, a mist chore and her ration shrinks. Therefore she moves fast, her eyes down, her hands never still. The kitchen is her cage, its heat a weight on her back. She dreams of olives, their oil slick on her tongue, but wakes to gruel's bland truth. The empire runs on her labor fields plowed, loaves baked, tables set, but her plate stays bare. Therefore she steals a crumb, her heart racing, her guilt a whisper. Imagine a fresco of slaves, their faces blank, serving plates they'll never taste. Some masters feed slaves better, knowing strength fuels work. A scrap of fish, a bruised pair, small mercies in a hard life. But cruelty is common. Chains clink, whips snap, and hunger punishes. Therefore she shares her bowl with another, their bond a quiet rebellion. A child slave, his eyes big, licks a spoon, his smile a rare light. The kitchen's steam curls like a ghost, its walls trapping her world. Let's linger here, where pots simmer and silence stings, and feel her unseen strength. Food was survival, but also control, each scrap a chain's link. But not all meals were grim. Taverns buzzed, their tables open to all. Let's slip to a popina where workers eat and dice roll. What did a tavern offer, and why did it matter? Picture a smoky room, its counter-stained, the air ripe with wine and garlic. No pizza, but lentil stew in clay pots, their steam warm. A worker, his tunic, dusty spoon stew. His laugh loud, a pina is Rome's underbelly, its food cheap, its welcome rough. Stay with me, let the empire's hum lull you, and let's taste the tavern's heart. Asterisk, a papina's smoky glow spills into a Roman alley, its air thick with wine and charred bread. Workers crowd benches, their tunics stained, their voices a rough hum. A pot of lentils simmers, its steam heavy with garlic and dill. No tomatoes, no modern zest, just stew, ladled into clay bowls, paired with bread tough as leather. Picture a mosaic of a tavern, dice rolling, with the faint clatter of cups. A laborer spoons his meal, his hands calloused, his hunger deep. Garum, cheap and sharp, splashes into his bowl, a poor man's luxury. Wine, sour but strong, loosens tongues, sparking laughs and bets. But this isn't comfort. The papina is rough fights, flair thieves lurk, and debt collects. Therefore the owner watches, his ladle a scepter, his eyes sharp. His stew feeds Rome's workers, builders, porters, scribes, but it's no banquet. A scrap of pork, if the day's good, might float in the broth. The poor eat here, their coins few, their plates simple, but risks hover. A bad batch sours stomachs, a fire guts the shop. Therefore the cook stirs with care, his spices hoarded, his fire watched. Imagine a fresco of a crowd, bowls steaming, faces lit by oil lamps. The popina is Rome's pulse, its food a balm for weary bones. A woman, her shift done, shares a crust with a friend, their gossip soft. Dice clack, a sailor curses his luck, and the night feels alive, but it's fleeting. Dawn calls them back to labor, their bowls empty again. Therefore they savor each bite, their laughter a shield against tomorrow. The rich scorn these places, their feasts far grander. Yet the papina binds the city, its tables a stage for life. Let's linger here, where smoke curls and voices rise, and feel the tavern's rough warmth. Food was fuel, but also joy, a moment's escape from grind. But not all ate in taverns or villas. Street vendors hawked snacks, their cries sharp. Let's drift to a corner, where skewers sizzle and crowds pass. What did a vendor sell, and why? Did it matter? Picture a stall, its brazier glowing, the air sharp with vinegar and fish. No pizza but flatbread stuffed with beans. Tempt the hungry. A vendor, his voice hoarse, waves a skewer, his grin wide. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers soothe you, and let's taste the street's quick bites. Asterisk, a street corner buzzes at noon, Rome's heart pounding under a hazy sun. A vendor's brazier spits sparks, its heat curling the air with vinegar and fish. Skewers sizzle, their meat goat may be pork glazed with oil and herbs. No tomatoes, no bright sauces, just flatbreads, stuffed with beans or lentils, stacked high. Picture a mosaic of a market, stalls bright, with a faint shout of vendors. The vendor's voice cuts through the din, his grin wide, his hands quick. He serves scribes, slaves, even soldiers, their coins warm, their hunger sharper. Garum diluted but sharp, drizzles over bread, its tempts a street signature. But this isn't easy. His stock spoils, his fire dies, and crowds thin. Therefore, He hawks louder, his throat raw, his skewers waved like flags. A single denarius buys a bite, enough to quiet a growling stomach. The poor rely on him, their kitchens cold, their coins few. But danger lurks. Thieves snatch, dogs steal, and guards demand bribes. Therefore, he hides his earnings, his satchel tight, his eyes darting. Imagine a fresco of a crowd, hands reaching, skewers smoking. The vendor's stall is Rome's quick pulse, its food a bridge between work and want. A boy, his tunic torn, bites into bread, its warmth a small joy. A woman, her basket heavy, trades a leek for a skewer, her smile brief. The street hums, its rhythm chaotic but alive, but it's fragile. A bad day, and he eats nothing, his own wares too precious. Therefore, he saves scraps, his supper a cold crust, his hunger a secret. The rich pass by, their noses high, their meals waiting in villas. Yet the vendor feeds Rome's heart, his stall a spark in the city sprawl. Let's linger here, where smoke rises and voices shout, and feel the street's restless energy. Food was life, but also hustle, each skewer a small victory. But the empire's food wasn't static, it evolved, shaped by trade and time. Let's drift to a later Rome, where new flavors crept in. What changed, and how did it feel? Picture a market, now with eastern spices, its air sharper, its plates bolder. No pizza, but pepper and cinnamon hint at a wider world. Stay with me, let the empire's hum lull you, and let's taste Rome's slow shift. Asterisk, a Roman market hums at midday, its stalls brighter under a late empire sun. The air bites with new sense pepper from India, cinnamon from lands beyond the sea. No tomatoes yet, their red fruit still a distant dream, but trade has stretched Rome's palate. Lentils now simmer with cumin, their warmth deeper, their tang bold. Picture a mosaic of a caravan, sacks bulging, with the faint jingle of camel bells. Merchants, their tunics dusty, unpack spices worth more than gold. A pinch of pepper buys a slave, a sack of saffron, a villa. But this isn't simple. Trade routes twist through deserts, bandits wait, and ships wreck. Therefore spices are rare, their dust guarded like relics. A cook in a villa sprinkles pepper, his hands slow, his master's eyes sharp. The dish pork glazed with honey and spice dazzles guests, their togas bright. Garum still king now shares space with these newcomers, its salt a canvas for peppers. Bite. The poor rarely taste this, their porridge stays grey, their bread plain. But festivals bring hints of public stew, flecked with cumin warms a crowd. Therefore, the empire shares its wealth, if only in crumbs. Imagine a fresco of a banquet, plates vivid, spices glowing. The market's pulse quickens, its stalls a map of conquest. A woman buys a pinch of dill, her coin small, her smile wide. A sailor, fresh from Alexandria, chews spiced bread, his tales wild. The empire's reach grows, but so do its hungers. Spices spark dreams, but also greed. Therefore, merchants hoard, their strong boxes locked, their ships pushed harder. The rich savor this shift, their tables a stage for new wealth. Let's linger here, where sacks rustle and scents swirl, and feel Rome's expanding heart. Food was power, but now it's a story of far-off lands, each bite a thread to the unknown. But spices weren't all. Farms grew stronger, their yields bigger. Let's drift to a late empire field, where plows cut deeper. What fed this Rome, and how did it change? Picture a plain, its wheat golden, the air soft with harvest dust. No pizza, but bread, now softer, feeds more. Farmers, their tools sharper, coax life from tired soil. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers soothe you, and let's taste the empire's growth. A late empire field glows under dawn, its wheat swaying like a golden sea. Farmers move, their plows heavier, their blades biting deep into soil. The air is soft, dusted with chaff, scented with clover and earth. No tomatoes grow here or there, time still far off, but barley and spelt thrive, their stalks thick. Picture a mosaic of a harvest, sickles flashing with the faint hum of workers' songs. New tools iron plows, watermills coax more from the land, feeding a hungrier Rome. Bread, once gritty, now softer, fills baskets in markets. Garum flows from factories, its amphory stacked high. But this isn't ease. Soil, tires, floods, ruin, and taxes crush. Therefore farmers push harder, their hands cracked, their days long. A family reaps wheat, their faces lined, their pilot a shield against want. The empire's belly grows, its cities fatter, but fields strain. A loaf now feeds a soldier, a slave, even a priest. Its crust a bond across classes. But wealth gaps widen. The rich hoard grain, their villas stuffed, while the poor beg crumbs. Therefore emperors expand doles, their bread free but sparse. Imagine a fresco of a field, workers bent, sky-wide. A girl binds sheaves, her fingers nimble, her supper porridge and hope. Markets brim, their stalls heavy with leeks and figs, but prices bite. The empire's strength is its harvest, but it's fragile, a drought, and silos empty. Riots spark. Therefore, overseers count yields. their ledgers tight, their whips ready, the farmer's meal bread, oil, a scrap of cheese tastes of his labor, each bite earned. Let's linger here, where dust rises and sickles sing, and feel the fields. Quiet power. Food was life, but now it's scale, each grain a cog in Rome's machine. But fields weren't all. Cities cooked, their kitchens bolder. Let's slip to an urban hearth, where new recipes hum. What did this Rome eat, and why was it richer? Picture a tenement, its pot steaming, the air sharp with pepper and dill. No pizza but stews, now spiced, warm crowded rooms. A cook, her hands quick, stirs lentils, her skill a late empire gift. Stay with me, let the empire's hum lull you, and let's taste the city's new flavors. Asterisk, a tenement's hearth flickers in a late empire dusk, its pot steaming in a cramped room. The air is sharp, laced with pepper and dill. Sense of a wider world. A woman stirs lentils, her hands quick, her stew thick with onions and cumin. No tomatoes, their bright temps unknown, but trade has enriched her pot. Bread, softer now, soaks up broth, its crust flecked with seeds. Picture a mosaic of a kitchen, bowls steaming, with the faint clatter of spoons. The empire's reach brings spices, their dust cheap enough for the poor. Garum, once elite, now splashes freely, its salt a city staple. But this isn't wealth. Fuel is scarce, pots crack, and hunger lingers. Therefore she cooks with care. Her portions stretched, her children's eyes big. Her stew feeds a family, their faces lit by a single lamp's glow. The city's kitchens hum, their recipes bolder, their plates fuller. A neighbor shares a pinch of saffron, her gift a thread of warmth. But risks remain. Markets cheat, illness strikes and fires gut homes. Therefore, she barters a mended sandal for a leek, a song for salt. Imagine a fresco of a family, spoons raised, their room small but alive. The urban poor eat better now, their stews a step above gruel. Festivals bring pork, its fat rich, a taste of Rome's late generosity. The empire's trade feeds these hearths, its ships steady, its roads safe but it's fragile. A war, and spices vanish, bread thins. Therefore, she saves scraps, her broth a net for every crumb. A child chews bread, his smile soft, his hunger briefly gone. Let's linger here, where steam curls and voices murmur, and feel the hearth's quiet strength. Food was survival, but now it's hope. Each bite a taste of a bigger Rome, but not all ate at home. Bakers grew, their ovens vast. Let's drift to a late empire bakery, where loaves stack high. What did this bread mean, and how did it bind Rome? Picture a shop, its air yeasty, the ovens roar, a city's heartbeat. No pizza, but bread, now fine, feeds all. A baker, his hands floured, shapes loaves, his craft a late empire art. Stay with me. Let Rome's whispers soothe you, and let's taste the baker's pride. Asterisk, a late empire bakery hums at dawn, its oven a roaring heart in Rome's sprawl. The air is yeasty, thick with flour, dust and heat. A baker, his hands white, shapes loaves, his fingers swift, his pride quiet. No tomatoes, no pizzas, dough just bread, now finer, its crust golden, its crumbs soft. Picture a mosaic of a bakery, loaves piled, with the faint crackle of fire. Mills, powered by water, grind wheat smooth, feeding ovens that never sleep. Bread feeds all soldiers, slaves, senators sits, price fixed by emperors. Garum might flavor a batch. Its salt a nod to the sea, but this isn't ease. Grain ships delay, ovens crack, and crowds growl. Therefore the baker works fast, his sweat falling, his loaves counted. His shop is Rome's pulse, its counter mobbed by dawn's first light. A woman buys a loaf, her coin small, her thanks a nod. The poor get free bread, a dole that calms riots but strains stores. But quality varies. The rich get white loaves, the poor gritty rounds. Therefore bakers sift flour, their sieves fine, their status tied to crust. Imagine a fresco of a queue, hands outstretched, faces hungry. The baker's meal is a broken loaf, smeared with oil, eaten standing. A slave boy sweeps, his reward a crust, his eyes on the oven. The empire's strength is this bread, its silos a shield against want, but it's fragile. A bad harvest, and lines grow, fists rise. Therefore the baker prays, his offering a burnt loaf to Ceres. His craft binds Rome, each loaf a thread in its web. Let's linger here where heat rises and dough swells, and feel the baker's steady hand. Food was life, but now it's system, each bite a cog in Rome's order. But bread wasn't all. Banquets grew wilder, their tables vast. Let's slip to a late empire feast, where excess ruled. What did the rich eat, and why was it bold? Picture a hall, its lamps blazing, the air heavy with spice and song. No pizza, but peacock and flamingo, glazed with honey, dazzled guests. A host, his rings flashing, serves wine, its spice a boast of wealth. Stay with me, let the empire's hum lull you, and let's taste the feast's splendor. Asterisk, a late empire. Banquet hall blazes under lamplight, its air rich with saffron and roasted game. Guests recline, their togas silk, their laughter soft as a breeze. Servants glide, their trays heavy with peacock and flamingo, their flesh glazed with honey and pepper. No tomatoes, no pastas, comfort just lentils with cumin, oysters in garum and bread white as snow. Picture a mosaic of a feast, plates vivid, with the faint strum of a lyre. The host, his rings bright, pours wine spiced with cinnamon, its cost a farmer's year. This is no millet's power, each dish a boast of Rome's reach. A single grape, carried from Persia, sparkles like a gem, but excess has risks. Supplies falter, cooks fail, and guests judge. Therefore the host plans like a king, his cellars deep, his spies sharp. The table groans, its plates a map of empire royal from Spain, spice from India, fish from the Black Sea. Garum now cheap, flows freely, its salt a base for bolder flavors. The poor dream of this, their porridge plain, their plates empty. But here food is art, a bore. Its eyes glass spills spiced apples, its carving a show. Therefore guests clap their hunger second to all. Imagine a fresco of a banquet, colors bold, faces flushed, servants sweat, their own meal scraps, their hands unseen. The empire's wealth shines here, but it's brittle, a war, and spices. Vanish tables thin, therefore the host hoards, his vaults locked, his smile wide. A woman sips wine, its warmth a spell, her thoughts on tomorrow's deals. The feast is Rome's peak, its splendor a fleeting star. Let's linger here, where cups clink and spices dance, and feel the host's pride. Food was status, but now it's spectacle, each bite a stage. But not all ate so grand. Streets buzzed, their snacks quick. Let's drift to a late empire store, where crowds grab and go. What did this Rome chew, and why was it fast? Picture a corner, its brazier hot, the air sharp with vinegar and mint. No pizza, but flatbreads stuffed with cheese, tempt all. A vendor, his voice loud, flips skewers, his trade a city's beat. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers soothe you, and let's taste the street's rush. A late empire street hums at noon, its cobblestones warm under a hazy sun. A vendor's brazier glows, its smoke curling with mint and vinegar. Flatbreads stuffed with cheese and dill, stack high, their crusts crisp. No tomatoes, no modern spice, just skewers of goat, glazed with oil, sizzling fast. Picture a mosaic of a market, crowds thick, with the faint shout of hawkers. The vendor's voice rises, his hands flipping bread, his grin pulling scribes and slaves. Garum now common drizzles over, its tanged a quick kick. This is Rome's beat, its food grabbed between tasks. But speed has costs. Meat spoils, fires flare and coins slip. Therefore, the vendor moves fast, his skewers hot, his eyes sharp. A denarius buys a bite, enough to fuel a porter's load. The poor crowd here, their kitchens bare, their hunger sharp. But risks hover, thieves grab, guards tax, and rain kills trade. Therefore he hides coins, his satchel heavy, his stall fortress. Imagine a fresco of a street, hands reaching, bread steaming. A boy, his tunic patched, bites cheese, its melt a rare joy. A woman, her basket full, swaps a fig for a skewer, her haste clear. The city's pulse races, its streets a web of want and rush, but it's fragile, a bad day, and the vendor starves, his own bread cold. Therefore he saves scraps, his supper a stale crust, his pride in each sale. The rich pass, their noses high, their feasts slow and grand. Yet the stall feeds Rome's heart, its bites a spark in the sprawl. Let's linger here, where smoke rises and voices clash, and feel the street's quick life. Food was fuel, but now it's pace, each bite a step in Rome's dance. But streets weren't all homes evolved, their tables fuller. Let's slip to a late empire kitchen, where families shared more. What did this Rome cook, and why was it? Warm picture a room, its hearth bright, the air soft with lentils and sage. No pizza, but stews, now rich, by kin. A mother, her hand steady, stirs broth, her love in each spoon. Stay with me, let the empire's hum lull you, and let's taste the home's heart. A late empire kitchen glows at dusk, its hearth a warm pulse in a modest home. The air is soft, rich with lentils, sage, and a hint of pepper. A mother stirs a pot, her hand steady, her stew thick with barley and leeks. No tomatoes, their attempts unborn, but trade brings cumin, its warmth a new guest. Bread, fine and seeded, rests on a scarred table, its crust warm. Picture a mosaic of a family, bowls raised, with the faint clink of spoons. Her children sit close, their faces lit, their chatter low. Garum now cheap, splashes in, its salt a familiar friend. This is no villa, but there's a meal shared, a bond tight. But want lingers. Fuel costs, pots break, and illness waits. Therefore she stretches broth, her knife thin, her portions fair. The empire's wealth trickles here, its spices and grain a quiet lift. A neighbor shares dill, her gift small but warm. The poor eat better now, their plates fuller, their stews bold, but it's fragile. A market spike, and hunger creeps back. Therefore she saves bones, her super net for scraps. Imagine a fresco of a hearth, steam curling, faces soft, A child spoons stew, his smile wide, his hunger gone. The father breaks bread, his hands rough, his thanks a nod. The kitchen is Rome's heart, its food a thread of love, but it's not grand. The rich feast on peacocks, their tables far, yet this meal binds kin. Its warmth a shield against night. Therefore, they linger, their lamp low, their stories long. Let's stay here, where steam rises and voices hum, and feel the home's quiet strength. Food was life, but now it's bond. Each bite a knot in family's web, but homes weren't all. Rome's end loomed, its food a mirror. Let's drift to a fading empire where tables thinned. What did this Rome eat, and why was it lean? Picture a market, its stalls sparse, the air heavy with dust and want. No pizza but bread. Now, coarse. Feeds few. A vendor, his voice weak, sells lentils, his stock low. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers soothe you, and let's taste the empire's twilight. Asterisk, a fading empire market stumbles at dawn, its stalls half empty, its air heavy with dust. A vendor, his voice thin, sells lentils, their pile small, their price high. The sun is pale, the crowd sparse, their tunics patched. No tomatoes, no lost flavors, just bread, now coarse, its grit, a reminder of lean days. Picture a mosaic of a market, stalls bare, with the faint creak of a cart. Wheat is scarce, ships rare, and garums amphorae crack. A woman buys a loaf, her coins few, her fingers trembling. This is Rome's twilight, its hunger sharp, its pulse weak, but resilience holds. Families boil roots, their stews thin but shared. Therefore they gather, their lamps dim, their bowls passed hand to hand. The empire frays, its roads broken, its fields wild. Bread, once free, now costs. Its dole, a memory. Garum, once cheap, is a luxury. Its salt mist. But markets fight on. A farmer trades leeks, his yield small, his hope stubborn. Therefore, he plants again, his plow slow, his prayers loud. Imagine a fresco of a family, faces gaunt, spoons scraping, the rich hoard, their cellars deep, their feasts hidden. The poor eat less, their porridge gray, their children quiet, but love endures. A mother saves a fig, her gift a spark in hungry eyes. The city's hum fades, its temples cold, its docks still, yet food binds them, each bite a stand against dark. Therefore, they cook, their hearths weak but alive. A boy chews crust, his dreams of legions, his reality dust. Let's linger here, where want grows but hearts hold, and feel Rome's fading strength. Food was survival, but now it's defiance. Each meal a spark in the gloom. But Rome's stories don't end its tables, lean or rich, whisper on. Let's drift to a final night, where lamps fade and stars watch. What did these tales mean, and why do they lull us? Picture a city, its lights low, the air soft with memory and bread. No pizza, but Rome's food, its grit and glory, lives in us. Stay with me, let the empire's hum soothe you. And let's close with calm. Asterisk, night falls over Rome, its 7 hills cloaked in shadow, its air soft with memory. Lamps flicker in windows, their light faint, like stars sinking into dawn. The city hums, its markets quiet, its hearths cold. No tomatoes, no pizza's warmth, but bread's scent lingers, its crust a ghost of empire. Picture a mosaic of a city, its roofs dark, with the faint rustle of wind. We've walked its fields, tasted its stews, felt its hunger in excess. From farmers' porridge to senators' feasts, food was Rome's pulse grit, love, power. Each bite told a story, each plate a thread in a vast web. The farmer's barley, the baker's loaf, the slave's gruel all bound them, rich and poor, to the earth. Garum's salt, spices bite, bread's weight, they carried Rome's dreams, its fights, its twilight. But they're not gone. These tales live, they're calm, a bridge to sleep. Imagine a villa, its table bare, its master asleep, his dreams of conquest soft. A tenement, its family huddled, their stew gone, their bond tight. The empire's food was never just food, it was life, risk, hope. Therefore we linger, our minds heavy with their flavors, our hearts lulled by their hum. A vendor's brazier dies, its embers red, his day done. A priest's chant fades, his altar dark, his gods quiet. Rome's stories wrap us, their monotony a blanket, their details a lullaby. Let's stay here, where the Tiber flows and stars watch, and feel the city's final breath. Food shaped them, and us. Its lessons deep share, endure, savor. The empire sleeps, its market still, its ovens cold, but its whispers carry, their calm a gift for your dreams. Therefore, close your eyes, let the hills fade, let the bread's warmth hold you. Imagine a fresco of a night, Rome's lights low, its people one, and before sleep claims you. Subscribe to this channel. Without that step, you might miss Rome's whispers, the tales that calm the night. Let's drift now, the city's pulse slowing, its stories ours. Stay with me, let the empire's hum fade, and let's taste one last starlit breath. Asterisk. Rome sleeps under a starlit sky, its hills silent, its air cool with dew. The Tiber murmurs, its waves a soft echo of a million meals. No tomatoes, no pizzas glow, but the scent of bread lingers, its memory baked into stone. Picture a mosaic of a river, its banks dark, with a faint ripple of water. We've tasted the empire's heart, its fields of wheat, its pots of lentils, its feasts of excess. The farmer's calloused hands, the baker's flour-dusted arms, the slave's stolen crumb they fed a city, a world, a dream. Garam's tang, olives slick, spices fire, they wove Rome's story, their flavors a map of triumph and want. Each table, grand or grim, held life-love in a shared crust, power in a peacock's glaze, hope in a soldier's ration. Therefore, we linger, our minds soft with their tales, our dreams heavy with their calm. A market stall, now bare, sways in the breeze, its vendor gone, a villa's lamp dies, its light a final spark. These stories, monotonous and slow, are Rome's gift, a lullaby of earth and effort. Imagine a fresco of a city asleep, its people still, their hunger quiet. The empire's food was its soul, each bite a vow to endure. From docks to hearths, from temples to streets, it bound them, and us, to time. Let's stay here, where stars gleam and winds whisper, and feel Rome's final embrace. The poor shared broth, the rich hoarded spice, but all ate under one sky. Therefore, let their tables fade, let their flavors soothe, let their hum carry you to sleep. A child dreams of figs, his bowl empty, his heart full. A merchant counts coins, his supper cold, his hopes warm. Rome's legacy is this food, as life, as story, as rest. And before the night takes you, subscribe to this channel. Its tales, like Rome's bread, are yours to hold, their calm a shield, with for your dreams. Picture the city, its lights gone, its hills eternal. Let the Tiber sing, let the stars watch, let sleep come. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers fade, and drift into the empire's endless night. Rome's streets pulse at twilight, their cobblestones slick with evening dew. A street cook's brazier glows, its flames licking a blackened pot, the air sharp with vinegar and crushed coriander. His hands, rough as leather, stir a stew of lentils and wild greens, its steam curling like a ghost in the fading light. No tomatoes, no bright sauces to tempt the eye, just barley broth, thickened with spelt and flatbreads charred on hot stones. Picture a mosaic of a bustling corner, stalls aglow, with the faint sizzle of fat dripping into fire. The cook's voice, hoarse from shouting, calls to passers-by, scribes, women with baskets heavy from market. His food is cheap, a denarius for a bowl, enough to quiet a growling stomach. Garum watered down but sharp, splashes into each serving, its salty tang a poor man's thrill. Olives, bruised but juicy, roll in a clay dish, their oil slicking fingers. This is Rome's underbelly, where hunger meets haste, where the city's workers pause to eat. But it's no easy trade. Wood is scarce, pots crack and thieves snatch coins. Therefore the cook keeps his fire low, his eyes darting, his ladle a shield. His stall, a rickety table under a tattered awning, sways in the breeze, its legs scarred from years of kicks and spills. A boy, his tunic patched, sweeps ash, his reward a burnt crust. The cook's own meal is scraps, eaten standing, his back to the wall. Bread, stale but soft in broth, fills his belly, while a sip of sour wine dulls the day's ache. The empire's pulse beats here, in these quick bites, in the clink of coins and the hum of tired voices. But danger lurks. A drunkard's brawl can topple his pot, a guard's bribe can empty his purse. Therefore, he smiles, his grin wide, his words sweet, coaxing every sail. A woman, her shawl slipping, spoons, stew, her sigh soft as she tastes, home in the herbs. A soldier, his helmet underarm, buys bread, his laugh rough but kind. The street cook feeds Rome's heart, his fire a spark in the city's sprawl. Imagine a fresco of a crowd, bowls steaming, faces lit by flickering flames. The rich pass by, their noses high, their villas waiting with grander plates. Yet this stall is life, its food a bridge between labor and rest. But not all ate so fast. In quiet homes, grandmothers cooked, their recipes old as the hills. Let's drift to a family kitchen, where time slows and pots simmer. Picture a courtyard, its air warm with dill and baked clay, where an old woman kneads dough. No pizza, no modern spices, but her bread, studied with seeds, smells of memory. Her hands gnarled, move with purpose, her stories weaving through each pinch of salt. This is Rome's soul, its food, a thread of kin and care. But even here, want creeps in. Grain runs low, oil dwindles, and hunger watches. Therefore, she saves every crumb, her pot a net for love and survival. A child watches, her eyes wide, learning the rhythm of flour and fire. The empire's strength is in these hearths, their meals a quiet song of endurance. Let's linger here, where steam rises and voices hum, and taste the grandmother's craft. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the warmth of her table's heart. The kitchen's air is heavy, its walls stained with years of smoke. The grandmother's pot bubbles, its contents simple lentils leaks, a scrap of bacon if the market was kind. Her family gathers, their faces soften, the lamps glow, their hunger a shared silence. Bread, warm and dense, breaks under her fingers, its crust cracking like a promise. Garum, a rare treat, adds salt, its fishy tang a whisper of the sea. She tells tales of harvests won, of winters survived, her voice low, her words a lullaby. But life is hard. Taxes bite, children sicken, and drought starves the fields. Therefore, she stretches every grain, her broth thin but warm, her love thick. A neighbor knocks her own pot empty, and shares a handful of herbs. This is Rome's web, its people bound by need and kindness. The grandmother's food isn't grand, no peacock, no honeyed wine, but it's enough. A grandson chews slowly, his smile shy, his belly full for now. The empire's glory fades, but these meals endure, their flavors a map of survival. Imagine a mosaic of a family, hands passing bread, with the faint clink of clay bowls. The rich eat differently, their tables heavy with spice and show. Yet here, food is truth, each bite a vow to carry on. But not all kitchens were so warm. In tenements meals were grim, their cooks weary. Let's slip to a crowded insula, where smoke chokes and hope frays. Picture a room, its air thick, where a young mother stirs porridge. No pizza, just gruel, gray and thin, ladled into chipped bowls. Her children huddle, their eyes big, their spoons scraping. This is no feast, but it's theirs. Hunger is a guest that never leaves, its shadow long. Therefore she trades a mended tunic for a leek, a prayer for salt. The empire's weight presses here, its bounty far from these walls. A flicker of garum stolen from a market stool sparks her broth, its salt a fleeting joy. Let's stay here, where the hearth fights the dark, and feel her quiet fight. Stay with me, let Rome's hum soothe you and taste the struggle's bitter edge. A Roman insula looms at dusk, its walls cracked, its air choked with smoke and damp. In a cramped room, a young mother crouches by a tiny hearth, her pot spitting gray porridge. The scent of barley and stale water hangs heavy. No tomatoes to brighten the meal, no spices to lift the tongue. Her children, three small shadows, sit on a straw mat, their spoons scraping chipped bowls. Bread, hard as stone, soaks in the gruel, its crust softened just enough to chew. Picture a mosaic of a tenement, faces gaunt, with the faint cough of a neighbor through thin walls. Her hands raw from washing, stir slowly, her eyes tired but fierce. This is no banquet, no villa's feast, just survival, scraped from the empire's edges. Garum, a stolen drop, adds salt, its fishy tang a rare spark. Olives, too bruised for market, roll in a clay dish, their bitterness a luxury, but hunger is a constant guest. A day's wage buys little, and markets cheat with short waits. Therefore, she barters a patched sandal for an onion, a whispered favor for a pinch of dill. Her meal is love, stretched thin, its warmth a shield against the cold. A baby wails, her milk scarce, her heart heavy. The insula's hum is grim creaking beams, dripping leaks, the shuffle of tired feet. But there's strength here, in the where she saves the softest bread for her youngest. Imagine a fresco of a family, lamp flickering, their bowls half full. The empire's wealth passes these doors, its grain and oil locked in rich men's stores. The poor eat to live, their plates a quiet defiance, but risks are many. Illness fells the weak, fires gut homes, and landlords demand rent. Therefore, she prays, her offering a burnt crust to Vesta, goddess of the hearth. A neighbor shares a leek, her own pot bare, their bond a thread in Rome's fraying web. The children chew, their faces smudged, their hunger dulled for now. This meal, though meager, is a victory, each spoon a step against despair. Let's linger here, where smoke curls and silence stings, and feel her unspoken fight. Food was survival, but also hope, its scarcity, a fire that forged her will. But not all ate so lean. In villas, cooks conjured art, their kitchens alive. Let's drift to a grand house, where flames roar and plates gleam. Picture a kitchen, its air rich with saffron and roasted game, where a slave cook carves lamb. Pizza, no modern zest, but his dishes peacock lentils with cumin dazzle the elite. His hands scarred move with precision, his skill a master's pride. This is Rome's excess, its food is staged for power. But even here, pressure weighs, a failed dish, and his back feels the whip. Therefore he tastes each sauce, his tongue sharp, his fear hidden. A mosaic of a banquet, trays piled high, with the faint strum of a lyre, would glow here. The villa's lord reclines, his guests praising lamb glazed with honey and pepper. Garum flows, its salt a canvas for spice. The poor dream of this, their gruel gray, their plates empty. Let's stay here, where flames dance and scents swirl, and taste the cook's crafted splendor. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the weight of his unseen art. The villa's kitchen is a world of heat, its stone walls blackened by years of fire. The cook, a slave with eyes like flint, grinds coriander, his mortar heavy, his rhythm steady. His lord demands perfection, oysters plump with brine, dormice stuffed with nuts, bread white as clouds. No tomatoes, no chilies kick, but saffron and cinnamon carried from distant lands. Spark his plates, his hands quick as a weaver's. Shaped dough, his knife flashing through herbs. But this isn't freedom. A single mistake, a sour sauce, a burnt loaf, and his body pays. Therefore he works with care, his sweat falling, his pride buried. Servants scurry, their arms laden with trays, their own hunger a silent ache. The banquet hall hums, its air thick with myrrh and laughter, while the cook toils unseen. His own meal, a crust, a scrap of fish, eaten in the dark. The empire's glory rests on his skill, but he's a shadow, his name unknown. Imagine a fresco of a kitchen, pots steaming, faces tense. The Lord's guests sip wine red as blood, their plates a map of conquest. A single fig, carried from Egypt, costs more than a farmer's wage. The cook's art binds them, its flavors, a spell of wealth. But supplies falter, ships sink, spices vanish, and garum runs dry. Therefore he hoards pepper, his satchel a treasure, his cunning sharp. A young slave watches, learning his knife's dance, dreaming of a skill that might free him. The kitchen's pulses Rome's heart, its food a mirror of power and want. Let's linger here, where steam rises and knives sing, and feel the cook's hidden strength. Food was spectacle, but also chains, each dish a balance of art and fear, but not all cooked for lords. In rural hamlets bakers fed villagers, their ovens small but vital. Let's slip to a countryside shop, where dough rises and fires glow. Picture a hut, its air yeasty, where a baker needs spelt. No pizza, but his bread, coarse and warm, feeds all. Stay with me, let Rome's hum soothe you, and taste the village's simple heart. A Roman village wakes under a pale dawn, its air cool with mist and hay. A baker's hut sits at the edge, its chimney puffing, its scent of spelt and smoke drifting over thatch roofs. Inside, the baker kneads dough, his hands dusted white, his arm strong as oak. No tomatoes, no modern leaven, just coarse flour, mixed with water and salt, shaped into rounds that crackle in a clay oven. Picture a mosaic of a village, loaves stacked, with the faint crackle of burning wood. His bread feeds all farmers, weavers, children with bare feet. It's dense, gritty with stone-ground grain, sometimes studded with fennel seeds for a faint licorice hum. Garam, a rare splash, might flavor a batch, its salt a nod to distant seas. But this isn't city wealth. His flour comes from local fields, its yield tied to rain and sun. Therefore he measures carefully, his sacks counted, his oven watched. The hut's air is warm, its floor packed dirt, its walls hung with dried herbs. A girl, his daughter, sweeps. Her reward a warm heel of bread. The baker's own meal is simple bread smeared with oil, paired with cheese if the goats are kind. Wine, sour and thin, washes down the grit. The village hums, its rhythm slow, its people bound by shared loaves. But life is fragile. A drought starves his oven, a flood rots his stores. Therefore he prays to Ceres, his offering a small loaf, its crust charred for luck. A farmer trades wheat for bread, his hands rough, his smile brief. This is Rome's quiet edge, its food a bond of earth and effort. Imagine a fresco of a baker, his oven glowing, faces gathered, the city's markets brim with finer loaves. But here, bread is truth, its weight a promise, but risks loom. Pests gnaw, sacks, fires flare, and bandits raid. Therefore he hides his grain, his cellar cool, his knife sharp. A boy buys a loaf, his coin warm, his hunger plain. The baker's craft is the village's heart, its loaves a shield against want. Let's linger here, where dough rises and fires hum, and feel his steady pride. Food was life, but also trust, each loaf a vow to endure. But not all ate so plain. In ports, sailors ate, their meals tied to the sea. Let's drift to a dockside tavern where salt stings and pots simmer. Picture a room, its air ripe with fish and wine, where a cook serves stew. No pizza, no bright spices, but his broth, thick with barley, warms rough hands. Sailors, their faces weathered, spoon fast, their tails wild. This is Rome's sea, its food a taste of risk and wave, but supplies falter. Storms sink ships, fish vanish, and hunger bites. Therefore the cook stretches every bone, his soup a net for scraps, a mosaic of a harbor. Ships swaying, with the faint creak of ropes, would fit here. The tavern's hum is raw, its food a sailor's anchor. Let's stay here, where cups clink, and sea tales hum, and taste the port's rough heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the tide's restless pull. The tavern's counter is scarred, its wood dark with spilled wine and grease. The cook, his apron stiff with salt, ladle stew, his pot heavy with barley and fish scraps. His hands, cracked from brine, move fast, his eyes on the crowd. No tomatoes, no cities, come in just vinegar and dill. Their sharpness a sailor's wake. Bread, tough but warm, soaks in broth, its crust a sponge for flavor. A sailor, his beard, flecked with spray, spoons fast, his laugh loud as gulls. Garum cheap and sharp, splashes in, its tang a taste of home. But this isn't comfort. Fish rot, barrels leak, and fights flare. Therefore the cook keeps a club, his ladle a lure, his temper short. His own meal is dregs, eaten standing, his hunger a shadow. The port's pulse is fear ship's dock, coins flash, and storms loom. A woman, her shawl sea-stained, buys bread, her coin small, her eyes far. The empire's reach is here, its grain and oil carried on waves, but it's brittle, a lost ship, and the tavern starves, its pots cold. Therefore the cook barters a fish for wood, a tale for salt. Imagine a fresco of sailors, bowls raised, faces lit by oil lamps. The city's rich eat grander, their plates heavy with spice, yet this stew binds men, its warmth a shield against the sea. A boy, his hands raw from ropes, chews crust, his dreams of distant shores. The tavern's food is survival, but also story, each bite a knot in a sailor's life. Let's linger here, where smoke curls and voices roar, and feel the ports. Wild heart food was fuel, but also bond, its tastes a map of risk and return, but not all ate by the sea. In temples, priests offered food, their meals divine. Let's slip to a sacred hall, where altars smoke and chants rise. Picture a marble room, its air heavy with myrrh, where a priest breaks bread. No pizza, but cakes dusted with salt. Honor Juno, his hands clean, moves slow, his voice a hum of prayer. Stay with me. Let Rome's hum lull you, and taste the gods' quiet share. A temple's marble hall glows at dawn, its columns cool, its air thick with myrrh and wax. A priest, his robes white as frost, stands before Juno's altar, his hands steady, his chant a low hum. Cakes, round and salted, rest on a silver tray, their spelt crusts dusted with ash from sacred fires. No tomatoes, no earthly spice, just pure flour, mixed with oil and prayer, baked to honor the divine. Picture a mosaic of a sacrifice, flames curling, with the faint crackle of burning thyme. Wine, red and unwatered, gleams in a bronze bowl, its scent sharp as a blade. The priest breaks a cake, half for Juno, half for his table, its texture dense, its taste plain but holy. Garum even here adds salt, its fishy tense, a humble nod to the sea. But this isn't indulgence, each bite is ritual, each crumb a plea for Rome's strength. Therefore he moves with care, his knife precise, his eyes on the flame. The gods are fickle, a flawed cake, a sour wine, and crops fail, or wars falter. Therefore acolytes inspect flour, their fingers probing for weevils, their prayers soft. The temple's kitchen, hidden behind stone, hums with quiet work. Slaves knead dough, their sweat unseen, their hunger a silent vow. The priest eats well, figs, cheese, olives but sparingly, his role a balance of divine and human. Imagine a fresco of a priest, altar smoking, his face calm as a lake. The poor offer less barley gruel, a whispered plea, but the gods hear. Or, temples fed Rome's soul, their cakes a shield against chaos. But even priests faced want, a lean year, and altars stood bare. Their fires weak, therefore they stored spelt in stone vaults. Their foresight a gift to Juno, a young acolyte, his hands flowered, dreams of the banquet he'll never taste. The temple's air is heavy, its silence a weight on the heart. This is Rome's faith, its food a bridge to the eternal. But it's fragile, a bad omen, a cracked cake, a spilled bowl, and fear ripples. Therefore the priest chants louder, his voice a thread to the divine. A slave girl, her eyes down, sweeps ash, her hunger sharp. The empire's gods demand feeding, their favor bought with every loaf. Let's linger here, where smoke rises and chants hum, and feel the priest's solemn duty. Food was worship, but also power, each offering a chain to Rome's heart, but not all ate for gods. In camps, soldiers chewed, their rations grim. Let's drift to a frontier fort where dust swirls and fires burn. Picture a camp, its tents sagging, the air thick with barley and sweat. No pizza, just hardtack, soaked in Posca fuels men. A soldier, his armor dented, spoons porridge, his eyes on the horizon. This is Rome's edge, its food, a taste of grit, and duty but supplies thin. Carts lag, grain molds, and hunger bites. Therefore they forage, their hands tearing wild roots, their stew a desperate mix. A mosaic of a legion, spoons raised, with the faint clink of iron, would fit here. The fort's cook, his pot scarred, stirs fast, his skill a soldier's hope. Let's stay here, where embers pop and voices growl, and taste the camp's hard heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the soldier's weary chew. The fort's kitchen is a lean-to, its roof leaking, its hearth a pile of stones. The cook, his face lined, stirs a pot of barley and nettles, his ladle scraping iron. No tomatoes, no city's cumin, just wild herbs. Their bitterness a soldier's lot. Hardtack, a biscuit like rock, soaks in sour Posca, its vinegar a burn on the tongue. Soldiers crowd the fire, their boots muddy, their hunger raw. A scrap of goat, if a raid succeeded, floats in the broth, its fat a rare joy. Garum rationed, tight adds salt. It's tanged, a faint echo of home. But this isn't sustenance, it's survival. Supplies dwindle, wolves prowl, and enemies watch. Therefore, the cook stretches every grain, his knife thin, his curses low. His own meal is dregs, eaten in shadow, his back to the wind. The Empire's wars rest on these pots, their steam a soldier's strength. A young recruit, his hands blistered, chews slowly, his thoughts on his mother's bread. Imagine a fresco of a camp, faces lit by fire, spoons scraping clay. The city's poor eat better some days, their porridge thicker, but here, hunger is a blade, its edge sharp. Therefore, they joke, their laughter rough, sharing a crust under stars. The fort's pulse is grim, its food a vow to endure, but it's brittle, a lost supply, and men weaken, their swords heavy. Therefore, the cook guards his sacks, his spear close, his sleep light. A veteran, his beard gray, savors a warm bite, his first in days. The Empire's reach is vast, but here, it's a pot, a fire, a hard-won meal. Let's linger here, where smoke curls and silence falls, and feel the cook's quiet fight. Food was fuel, but also will each bite a step in Rome's long march, but not all ate in camps. In cities, scribes ate their meals quick. Let's slip to a scriptorium, where ink stains and plates wait. Picture a room, it's air dusty, where a scribe spoons lentils. No pizza, but bread smeared with oil. Fuels his pen, stay with me. Let Rome's hum lull you, and taste the scribe's silent world. A Roman scriptorium hums at midday, its air dusty with parchment and ink. A scribe, his fingers stained, hunches over a scroll, his quill scratching laws or letters. On a wooden bench, his meal waits a loaf of bread, its crust cracked, and a clay bowl of lentils, cold but spiced with dill. No tomatoes, no banquets, flair just oil, slick on the tongue, and a pinch of salt to wake the broth. Picture a mosaic of a desk, scrolls piled, with the faint scratch of quills. His work feeds Rome's mind taxes recorded, poems saved. His plate is simple, a pause between lines. Garum, a rare splash adds Thames, its fishy scent mingling with wax. Bread, dense and seedy, breaks under his knife, its crumbs dusting the scroll. But this isn't leisure. Deadlines press, ink spills, and eyes tire. Therefore he eats fast, his spoon quick, his thoughts on the next line. The scriptorium's hum is soft quills scrape, voices murmur. A cough breaks the quiet. His own hunger is a shadow, dulled by a crust and a sip of watered wine. The Empire's words flow through his hands, but his meal is a scribe's lot plain, rushed, enough. A young apprentice, his tunic ink-smeared, shares a loaf, his eyes wide with dreams. Imagine a fresco of scribes, heads bent, bowls half full. The rich dictate, their feasts grand, while scribes chew to work, not live, but want creeps in. Markets hike prices, bread thins, and wages lag. Therefore, he barters a copied poem for a fig, a favor for cheese. The city's pulse beats outside, its markets loud, its temples bright, but here, food is fuel. Each bite a stroke of the pen. A woman, her scroll urgent, buys his bread, her coin small, her thanks brief. The scribe's world is Rome's record. Its food, a quiet support, but it's fragile. A fire and scrolls burn, meals vanish. Therefore he guards his lamp, his wick trimmed, his hunger sharp. Let's linger here, where ink dries and spoons clink, and feel his steady focus. Food was work, but also pause. Each bite a breath in Rome's endless script, but not all ate at desks. In mines workers toiled, their meals grim. Let's drift to a quarry, where dust chokes and picks clang. Picture a pit, its air thick with a slave spoon's gruel. No pizza, just barley, thin and gray, keeps him alive. His hands raw, grip a spoon, his hunger a chain. This is Rome's underbelly. Its food, a taste of grit and pain, but supplies falter, carts break, grain rots, and whips fall. Therefore he eats fast, his bowl small, his strength fading. A mosaic of a quarry faces grim with the faint clang of iron would fit here. The overseer, his whip coiled, counts rations, his eyes hard. Let's stay here, where dust settles and silence hurts, and taste the slave's bitter lot. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the quarry's heavy heart. The quarry's air is thick, its dust coating lungs and skin. The slave, his back bent, spoons gruel, its gray surface still, its taste like ash. No tomatoes, no city's herbs, just barley, cooked in brackish water, ladled into a chipped bowl. His hands, scarred from picks, tremble, his hunger a weight, heavier than stone. Bread, stale and tough, might come if the overseer's kind, but kindness is rare. Garum, a master's luxury, never reaches this pit. Picture a fresco of workers, picks raised, their faces blank. The Empire's marble colosseum's temples rises from their labor, but their plates stay bare. A crust, a sip of sour posca is his fuel, each bite a fight to swing the pick again. But this isn't life. Exhaustion kills, rocks fall, and hope fades. Therefore he eats in silence, his eyes down, his spoon slow. The quarry's hum is grim clanging iron, cracking stone, a groan of pain. A boy, his frame thin, shares a bowl, his hunger sharper than his years. The overseer counts sacks, his whip a shadow, his greed thick. The slave's meal is control, each spoonful a chain's link, but rebellion stirs. A stolen crust, a shared sip, small acts defy the whip. Therefore, they whisper, their voices low, their bond a spark in the dark. Imagine a mosaic of a pit, workers hunched, their spoons scraping. The city's lords walk, on marble, their feasts rich, their hands clean. Here, food is survival, its lack a slow death. A slave dreams of olives, their oil a memory from a lost home. The quarry's pulse is Rome's shame, its food a mirror of cruelty. Let's linger, here, where dust chokes and picks sing, and feel the slave's quiet fight. Food was breath, but also chain, each bite a step in endless toil, but not all ate in pits. In villas children ate, their meals soft. Let's slip to a nursery, where milk flows and hands soothe. Picture a room, its air warm, where a nurse feeds a child. No pizza, but porridge, sweet with honey, fills small spoons. Stay with me, let Rome's hum lull you, and taste the nursery's gentle heart. A villa's nursery glows at morning, its air warm with milk and lavender. A nurse, her hands soft, spoons porridge to a child, her lap a cradle for his small frame. The porridge thick with spelt and honey, steams gently, its sweetness a lure for tiny lips. No tomatoes, no sharp spices, just milk, fresh from the goat, and bread crumbled fine for chewing. Picture a mosaic of a mother, child in arms, with the faint coo of a lullaby. The child, his curls damp, giggles, his spoon waving, his world this room's soft light. The nurse hums, her voice a thread of calm, her patience endless. This is Rome's future, its children fed with care, their plates a promise of growth. But even here, want creeps, milk sours, honey runs low, and illness strikes. Therefore she guards her stores, her jars sealed, her prayers to Mater Matuta soft. The villa's wealth buys figs, their juice sticky, and cheese, mild but rich. Garum too sharp for young tongues, stays in the kitchen, its salt for grown plates. The child's meal is love, each bite a vow to thrive. A slave girl, her eyes tired, sweeps her own child far, her hunger sharp. Imagine a fresco of a nursery, toys scattered, bowls warm. The empire's lords demand strong heirs, their sons fed to rule, but the poor feed lest their babies sip gruel, their arms thin. Therefore the nurse shares a crust, her heart torn, her duty split. The nursery's hum is gentle soft steps, a creaking cradle, a child's laugh. The child chews his eyes, bright, his hunger gone for now. This meal, though small, is Rome's hope, its warmth a seed for tomorrow, but it's fragile. A fever, and the child weakens, the villa mourns. Therefore the nurse watches her lamp low, her hands ready. A mother, her jewels bright, kisses the child, her thanks a nod. The empire's heart beats here, its food a cradle for power. Let's linger here, where milk flows and voices soothe, and feel the nurse's quiet care. Food was growth, but also bond, each spoon a knot in family's web. But not all ate so soft. In forums, orators spoke, their meals quick. Let's drift to a public square, where bread fuels words. Picture a forum, its air sharp with dust, where an orator eats. No pizza, but flatbread, smeared with lentils, keeps him sharp, his hands clean, break crust, his voice rising. This is Rome's voice, its food a spark for debate. But hunger distracts, crowds heckle, coins dwindle, and bread runs dry. Therefore he eats fast, his satchel light, his words, his wealth. A mosaic of a forum, hands raised, with a faint shout of voices, would glow here. The orator's meal is simple, his plate a pause in Rome's roar. Let's stay here, where dust swirls and words fly, and taste the forum's fierce heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the orator's fleeting bite. The forum's stones are warm, its air thick with dust and sweat. The orator, his toga crisp, stands on a low platform, his voice cutting through the crowds. Hum. Beside him, a flatbread, smeared with lentils and oil, rests on a cloth, its crust flecked with dill. No tomatoes, no cities, saffron, just bread, quick to eat, and a jug of watered wine to wet his throat. His hands, free of calluses, break the loaf, his eyes on the crowd. This is Rome's pulse, its words shaping laws and hearts. But oratory is no feast. Hecklers shout, rivals scheme, and hunger dulls the tongue. Therefore he eats between breaths, his bite small, his focus sharp. The crowd shifts, their tunics patched or fine, their ears hungry for truth or lies. A boy, his satchel, heavy, sells bread, his coin for a crust. The orator's meal is fuel, each bite a spark for his next line. Garum, a faint drizzle adds tanks, its salt a nod to the sea. But want looms a bad day, and coins dry, his plate empty. Therefore he flatters patrons, his voice honeyed, his supper their gift. Imagine a fresco of a speaker, crowd thick, faces tense. The empire's mind lives here, its food a prop for power. A woman, her shawl tight, listens, her own meal hours away. The orator's world is Rome's stage. It's bread, a quiet support, but it's fragile. A lost patron, and he starves, his voice weak. Therefore he saves crumbs, his pride high, his hunger low. Let's linger here, where voices clash and bread breaks, and feel his fleeting strength. Food was sparked, but also need each bite a step in Rome's loud dance. But not all ate in squares. In baths, men relaxed, their snacks light. Let's slip to a bathhouse where steam rises and olives roll. Picture a hall, it's air hot, where a man chews fruit. No pizza, but figs, sticky and sweet, ease his rest. Stay with me, let Rome's hum lull you, and taste the bather's soft heart. A Roman bathhouse steams at noon, its marble halls slick with mist and oil. Men lounge, their tunics draped, their skin flushed from the caldarium's heat. I choose a fig, its sticky juice dripping, its sweetness a cool spark on his tongue. No tomatoes, no savory stews, just fruit, figs and grapes, rolled in a clay dish, paired with bread, soft and oiled. Picture a mosaic of a bath, tiles gleaming, with the faint splash of water. The air hums, voices low, laughter soft, the scent of lavender and sweat mingling. This is Rome's ease, its baths a pause from dust and deals. The man, a merchant perhaps, shares his figs, his gesture a bond with friends. Garum, too sharp for this heat, stays in kitchens, its salt unneeded. The sip of watered wine, cool from a jug, washes down the fruit, its tang to gentle lift. But this isn't careless. Figs spoil, thieves snatch, and baths cost coin. Therefore he guards his satchel, his fruit few, his eyes sharp. The bathhouse's pulse is slow, its steam a veil for talk and rest. A slave, his tray heavy, offers bread, his own hunger, a silent ache. The empire's wealth shines here, its food, a spark of leisure. Imagine a fresco of bathers, fruit in hand, faces calm. The poor rarely come, their meals grim, their bodies unwashed. But here, food is light, each bite a moment's peace. A boy, his towel damp, chews a grape, his smile shy. The bather's warmth is Rome's heart, its fruit, a taste of calm. But it's fragile, a cracked pipe, and the baths close, snacks vanish. Therefore the man savors each fig, his talk slow, his rest deep. A woman, rare in this hall, sips wine, her presence bold. The empire's baths bind men, their food a thread of shared ease. Let's linger here, where steam curls and voices hum, and feel the bath's soft pulse. Food was rest, but also bond, each bite a knot in Rome's warm web. But not all ate in steam. In fields, shepherds grazed, their meals rough. Let's drift to a hillside, where flocks bleat and cheese ripens. Picture a slope, its air sharp with time, where a shepherd cuts curd. No pizza, but cheese, hard and sharp, feeds him. His hands, rough, break bread, his meal a taste of earth. This is Rome's wild edge, its food a spark of solitude, but want presses. Wolves hunt, rains soak, and cheese molds. Therefore he guards his flock, his knife close, his hunger keen. A mosaic of a pasture, sheep grazing, with a faint bleat of lambs, would glow here. The shepherd's meal is simple, his plate a pause in endless watch. Let's stay here, where winds blow and fires crackle, and taste the hill's lone heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the shepherd's quiet chew. The hillside's grass sways, its air sharp with thyme and sheep's wool. The shepherd, his cloak patched, sits by a small fire, his knife cutting a wedge of cheese, hard and sharp as flint. No tomatoes, no city's cumming, just bread, baked days ago, and a handful of olives, their bitterness a spark on his tongue. His meal is sparse, its weight light in his satchel, enough to fuel his watch. Picture a fresco of a shepherd, flocks scattered, with the faint crackle of burning twigs. His cheese, ripened in a cave, is his wealth, traded for grain or oil. A sip of Pascha sour and thin, weights his throat, its vinegar a bite against the wind. The empire's reach is faint here, its markets far, its lords distant. But this is Rome's route, its flocks feeding cities, its cheese a taste of hills. The shepherd's life is lone, his days long, his nights cold. Therefore he eats slow, his eyes on the flock, his ears sharp for wolves. A lamb bleats its mother near, their bond his duty. The cheese's rind, tough but rich, crumbles under his knife, its scent earthy. Garum, a city luxury, never reaches these slopes, its salt unmissed but want stalks. A dry season, and grass thins, milk slows. Therefore he moves his flock, his feet sore, his prayers to pan soft. Imagine a mosaic of a hillside, stars bright, fire low. The city's rich eat soft curds, their plates fine, their hands clean. Here, food is labor, each bite a spark of survival. A boy, his apprentice, chews crust, his dreams of city lights. The shepherd's meal is Rome's base, its cheese a thread to the earth, but it's brittle, a storm, and lambs die, cheese fails. Therefore he stores rinds, his cave cool, his hope stubborn. Let's linger here, where winds hum and fires glow, and feel his quiet strength. Food was life, but also watch. Each bite a vow to guard the flock, but not all ate alone. In cities, actors ate their meals quick. Let's slip to a theater where masks gleam in bread fuels. Picture a stage, it's air dusty, where an actor's spoons stew. No pizza, but lentils, warm and thick. Keep him loud. Stay with me, let Rome's hum lull you, and taste the theater's bright heart. A Roman theater buzzes at dusk, its stone seats packed, its air thick with dust and cheers. Backstage, an actor, his mask off, spoons, stew, its warmth seeping through a clay bowl. Lentils thick with onions and dill, steam gently, their scent, a quiet anchor. No tomatoes, no banquets, spiced just bread, torn rough, and a drizzle of oil to soften the crust. Picture a mosaic of a stage, masks bright, with the faint roar of a crowd. His meal is quick, a pause before his next line. His voice roams spark, garum a faint splash, adds temps, its salt a kick to wake his tongue. A sip of watered wine, cool in a jug, steadies his nerves, its temps soft. The empire's heart beats here, its stories told through his lips, its food a prop for art. But this isn't ease, lines falter, crowds boo, and hunger dulls. Therefore, he eats fast, his spoon swift, his eyes on the script. The theater's hum is fierce actor's pace. Props clatter, a flute hums. His stew, cooked by a stagehand, is simple, its warmth a fleeting shield. A young actor, his paint smudged, shares bread, his laugh nervous. Imagine a fresco of a troupe, bowls raised, faces tense, the rich watch, their feasts waiting, while actors chew to perform, not live, but want presses. A bad show, and coins vanish, plates empty. Therefore he flatters patrons, his bow deep, his supper, their gift. The city's pulse roars outside, its forums loud, its temples bright. But here, food is fuel, each bite a spark. For his voice, a woman, her fan bright, cheers, her own meal hours away. The actor's world is Rome's mirror, its stew a quiet support, but it's fragile. A lost role, and he starves. His mask dust, therefore he saves crumbs. His pride high, his hunger low. Let's linger here, where masks gleam and spoons clink, and feel his fleeting fire. Food was art, but also need, each bite a step in Rome's loud dance, but not all ate in theaters. In villas, poets wrote, their meals soft. Let's drift to a study, where ink flows and fruit waits. Picture a room, its air cool, where a poet chews grapes. No pizza, but figs, sticky and sweet, fuel his pen. His hands, soft, break bread, his meal, a taste of thought. This is Rome's mind, its food, a spark for verse, but want creeps. Patrons fade, ink dries, and hunger bites. Therefore he eats slow, his plate small, his words, his wealth. A mosaic of a poet, scrolls piled with a faint scratch of quills, would glow here. The poet's meal is simple, his plate a pause in Rome's song. Let's stay here where candles burn and verses hum, and taste the study's quiet heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the poet's gentle bite. The study's air is cool, its walls lined with scrolls and wax tablets. The poet, his tunic loose, sits at a wooden desk, his quill poised, his mind weaving verses for a patron's feast. A clay dish holds figs, their skins sticky, their sweetness a spark for thought. No tomatoes, no savory broth, just bread, soft and oiled, and a handful of grapes, their juice cool. His meal is simple, a pause between lines, its flavors are quiet. Muse, garum too sharp for his taste, stays in the kitchen, its salt unneeded. A jug of watered wine, its tang mild waits his lips, its coolness a lift. The empire's soul lives here, its poems shaping hearts and gods. But poetry is no feast. Patrons demand deadlines, press, and hunger dulls the mind. Therefore, he eats, slow, his bites small, his focus deep. The study's hum is soft quills scratch, a breeze stirs, a candle flickers. His figs, a gift from a friend, are wealth, their juice a rare joy. A slave, his tray light sweeps, his own hunger a silent ache. Imagine a fresco of a poet, eyes distant, fruit in hand. The rich commission odes, their feasts grand, while poets chew to dream, not live, but want looms. A lost patron, and coins dry, plates empty. Therefore, he flatters, his verses honeyed, his supper their gift. The city's pulse beats outside, its markets loud, its baths warm. But here, food is thought, each bite a spark for his pen, a woman, her scroll, fresh, reads his lines, her nod brief. The poet's world is Rome's song, its fruit, a quiet support. But it's fragile, a bad verse, and he starves, his quill still. Therefore, he saves grapes, his pride high, his hunger low. Let's linger here, where candles burn and verses hum, and feel his gentle strength. Food was muse, but also need each bite a step in Rome's soft dance. But not all ate in studies. In streets, beggars scavenged, their meals grim. Let's slip to an alley, where shadows creep and crumbs fall. Picture a corner, its air sour, where a beggar chews crust. No pizza, but scraps, stale and tough. Keep him alive. Stay with me, Let Rome's hum lull you, and taste the alley's bitter heart. A Roman alley stinks at dusk, its air sour with rot and damp. A beggar, his cloak ragged, crouches by a wall, his hands clutching a crust, its surface hard, its edges green with mold. No tomatoes, no warm stew, just scraps, scavenged from a taberna's refuse, and a sip of puddle water, its grit sharp. Picture a mosaic of a street, shadows long, with the faint scuffle of rats. His meal is survival, each bite a fight against the dark, each crumb a spark of life. Bread, stale and tough, breaks his teeth, its taste like dust. Garum, a city luxury, never touches his lips, its salt a dream. Olives, bruised and spit out by a merchant, roll in his palm, their bitterness a faint joy. The empire's wealth passes him, its coins jingling, its plates full, but this is Rome's edge, its beggars a mirror of want. Hunger is his shadow, its claws deep, its weight endless. Therefore he scavenges, his eyes sharp, his hands quick. The alley's hum is grim dog's growl. A drunkard stumbles, a child cries, a woman her own bowl empty, shares a crust, her nod brief. The beggar's meal is defiance, each bite a vow to see dawn, but death stalks cold bites, illness fells and fists bruise. Therefore he hides, his corner dark, his prayers to Fortuna soft. A boy, his frame thin, watches, learning the art of want. Imagine a fresco of an alley, faces gaunt, hands outstretched. The rich dine on peacock, their villas bright, their hearts blind. Here food is breath, its lack a slow end. The beggar chews, his eyes distant, his dreams of a full bowl. The empire's pulse ignores him, its markets loud, its temples high, but he endures his crumbs a thread to life. Let's linger here, where shadows creep and silent stings, and feel his quiet fight. Food was hope, but also pain, each bite a step in Rome's cruel dance, but not all ate in alleys. In schools, teachers ate, their meals plain. Let's drift to a classroom, where scrolls pile in bread weights. Picture a room, its air dusty, where a teacher spoons lentils. No pizza, but bread, smeared with oil, fuels his voice. His hands chalk-dusted bread crust, his meal a taste of thought. This is Rome's mind, its food a spark for lessons. But want presses, fees lag, scrolls tear, and hunger dulls. Therefore he eats fast, his plate small, his words his wealth. A mosaic of a school, boys chanting, with a faint scratch of styluses, would glow here. The teacher's meal is simple, his plate a pause in Rome's song. Let's stay here, where benches creak and voices hum, and taste the classroom's quiet heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the teacher's steady bite. The classroom's air is dry, its walls scratched with boys' names. The teacher, his tunic frayed, sits at a low table, his spoon dipping into lentils, cold but spiced with fennel. No tomatoes, no rich broth, just bread, dense and oiled, and a handful of figs, their sweetness a rare lift. His meal is plain, a pause between lessons, its flavors a quiet fuel. Picture a fresco of a school, scrolls open, with the faint chant of verse. His voice shapes Rome's youth, their minds learning laws or Homer Garum. A faint drizzle adds temps, its salt a nod to the sea. A jug of watered wine, its temps mild, weights his throat, its coolness a spark. The empire's future grows here, its boys fed with words and bread, but teaching is no feast. Fees come late, scrolls fade, and hunger bites. Therefore he eats quick, his bite small, his focus sharp. The room's hum is soft, styluses scratch, a boy whispers, a bench creaks, his lentils, cooked by his wife. Our wealth, their warmth, a fleeting joy, a slave, his tray light, sweeps his own hunger a silent ache. Imagine a mosaic of a teacher, eyes stern, bowl half full. The rich hire tutors, their feasts grand, while teachers chew to work, not live, but want looms. A bad month, and fees dry, plates empty. Therefore, he barters a lesson for cheese, a poem for oil. The city's pulse roars outside, its forums loud, its baths warm. But here, food is thought, each bite a spark for his voice. A boy, his tablet smudged, shares bread, his nod brief. The teacher's world is Rome's seed, its lentils a quiet support, but it's fragile, a lost pupil, and he starves, his voice weak. Therefore he saves figs, his pride high, his hunger low. Let's linger here, where scrolls pile and voices hum, and feel his steady strength. Food was fuel, but also need, each bite a step in Rome's soft dance. But not all ate in schools. In villas, musicians played, their meals light. Let's slip to a banquet, where strings hum and fruit waits. Picture a hall, its air rich, where a musician chews grapes. No pizza, but figs, sticky and sweet, fuel his tune. Stay with me, let Rome's hum lull you, and taste the banquet's bright heart. A Roman banquet hall glows at night, its air thick with myrrh and roasted lamb. A musician, his lyre resting, sits in a corner, his fingers plucking grapes, their juice cool and sweet. No tomatoes, no heavy stew, just fruit, figs and pomegranates. piled in a clay dish, paired with bread, soft and oiled. Picture a mosaic of a feast, trays bright, with a faint strum of strings. His tunes weave through laughter, their notes a spell for the rich. Garum too sharp for his taste, stays on the table, its salt for guests. A sip of watered wine, its tang mild, waits his lips, its coolness a lift. The empire's heart beats here, its music a spark for joy. But this isn't ease. Strings snap, guests tire, and hunger dulls. Therefore he eats quick, his bite small, his focus sharp. The halls hum as rich cups clink, voices rise, a servant glides. His gripes a host's gift are wealth, their sweetness a rare joy. A slave, his tray heavy sweeps, his own hunger a silent ache. Imagine a fresco of a musician, lyre in hand, fruit near the rich recline, their feasts grand, while musicians chew to play, not live, but want looms, a bad night, and coins dry, plates empty. Therefore he flatters, his tunes honeyed, his supper their gift. The city's pulse roars outside, its forums loud, its baths warm. But here, food is art, each bite a spark for his strings. A woman, her jewels bright, claps, her nod brief. The musician's world is Rome's song, its fruit a quiet support, but it's fragile. A lost patron, and he starves, his lyre dust. Therefore he saves grapes, his pride high, his hunger low. Let's linger here, where strings hum and voices soar, and feel his fleeting fire. Food was muse, but also need, each bite a step in Rome's bright dance. But not all ate in halls. In streets, couriers ran their meals quick. Let's drift to a road where dust swirls and bread fuels. Picture a lane, its air thick where a courier chews crust. No pizza, but bread, smeared with lentils, keeps him swift. His hands, dusty, break loaf, his meal a taste of haste. This is Rome's pulse, its food a spark for speed. But want presses. Loads heavy, roads break, and hunger slows. Therefore he eats fast, his satchel light, his feet, his wealth. A mosaic of a runner, satchel swinging with the faint pound of sandals, would glow here. The courier's meal is simple, his plate a pause in Rome's rush. Let's stay here, where dust flies and breaths pant, and taste the road's fierce heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the courier's fleeting bite. The road's dust chokes, its air sharp with sweat and sun. The courier, his tunic damp, pauses by a milestone, his satchel heavy with scrolls. His hands, dusty, tear a loaf, its crust smeared with lentils, their Thames faint but enough. No tomatoes, no cities, spice just bread, tough and dry, and a sip of posca, its vinegar a burn. Picture a fresco of a runner, road stretching, with the faint crunch of gravel. His meal is quick, a spark to keep his legs moving, his breath, steady garum, a rare drizzle adds salt, its tempting a nod to mark its far. The empire's veins are these roads, its message is life or death, but this isn't ease. Bandits lurk, boots wear, and hunger gnaws, therefore he eats fast. His bite small, his eyes sharp. The road's hum is fierce, carts creak, hoofs pound, a dog barks. His bread bought at dawn, his wealth, its crust a fleeting joy. A farmer, his cart slow nods, his own meal hours away. The courier's world is Rome's speed, its food a quiet support. Imagine a mosaic of a road, dust rising, feet swift, the rich ride litters, their feasts waiting, while couriers chew to run, not live, but want looms a bad job, and coins dry, plates empty. Therefore he saves crumbs, his pride high, his hunger low. Let's linger here where dust swirls and sandals slap, and feel his fleeting strength. Food was fuel, but also haste, each bite a step in Rome's fast dance. But not all ate on roads. In villas, healers worked, their meals calm. Let's slip to a clinic, where herbs steep in bread weights. Picture a room, its air sharp, where a healer chews olives. No pizza, but bread smeared with oil fuels his hands. His fingers, clean, break crust, his meal a taste of care. This is Rome's heart, its food a spark for health. But want presses, herbs fail, patients die, and hunger bites. Therefore he eats slow, his plate small, his skill, his wealth. A mosaic of a healer, jars lined with the faint crush of mortar, would glow here. The healer's meal is simple, his plate a pause in Rome's pain. Let's stay here, where herbs hum and voices soothe, and taste the clinic's quiet heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the healer's gentle bite. A Roman clinic hums at dawn, its air sharp with mint and vinegar. A healer, his tunic clean, sits at a low table, his fingers plucking olives, their bitterness a spark on his tongue. No tomatoes, no rich broth, just bread, smeared with oil, and a clay jar of herbs there sent a quiet balm. Picture a mosaic of a healer, jars lined with the faint crush of a mortar. His meal is calm, a pause between patients, its flavors a spark for his hands. Garum too sharp for his work, stays in the kitchen, its salt unneeded. A sip of watered wine, its Thames mild, waits his lips, its coolness a lift. The empire's heart beats here, its health shaped by his skill. But this isn't ease. Fevers rage, herbs fail, and hunger dulls. Therefore, he eats slow, his bites small, his focus sharp. The clinic's hum is soft jars clink, a patient groans, a breeze stirs. His olives, traded for a cure, are wealth, their oil a rare joy, a slave. His tray light sweeps, his own hunger a silent ache. Imagine a fresco of a healer, eyes kind, bowl half full. The rich hire physicians, their feasts grand, while healers chew to work, not live, but want looms. A bad season, and herbs dry, plates empty. Therefore he barters a salve for cheese, a stitch for figs. The city's pulse roars outside, its forums loud, its baths warm. But here, food is care, each bite a spark for his hands. A woman, her arm bandaged, nods, her pain eased. The healer's world is Rome's breath. Its olives a quiet support, but it's fragile. A lost patient, and he starves, his skill questioned. Therefore, he saves herbs, his pride high, his hunger low. Let's linger here, where herbs hum and voices soothe, and feel his gentle strength. Food was skill, but also need, each bite a step in Rome's soft dance. But not all ate in clinics. In ports fishes ate, their meals wet. Let's drift to a wharf, where nets dry and fish roast. Picture a dock, its air salt, where a fisher chews cod. No pizza but fish, charred and sharp, fuels his haul. His hands, scaled, break bread, his meal a taste of sea. This is Rome's tide, its food a spark for nets, but want presses. Storms rage, fish flee, and hunger bites. Therefore, he eats fast, his plate small, his strength, his wealth. A mosaic of a wharf, nets piled, with the faint slap of waves, would glow here. The fisher's meal is simple, his plate a pause in Rome's pool. Let's stay here, where gulls cry and fires crackle, and taste the dock's wild heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the fisher's salty bite. The wharf's air is wet, its boards slick with spray and fish guts. The fisher, his tunic stiff with salt, squats by a small fire, his hands tearing a cod, its flesh charred, its taste sharp as the sea. No tomatoes, no city's diligent bread, damp but warm, and a handful of olives, their oil a faint joy. Picture a fresco of a dock, nets drying, with the faint creak of boats. His meal is quick, a spark to mend nets and row again. His arm strong, garum his own make, drizzles over, its temps a mirror of his catch. A jug of posca, sour and thin, weights his throat, its vinegar a burn. The empire's reach is here, its fish feeding markets, its oil lighting lamps. But this isn't ease. Storms sink boats, fish vanish, and hunger gnaws. Therefore, he eats fast, his bite small, his eyes on the tide. The wharf's hum is scream, ropes snap, a sail flaps. His fish, caught at dawn, his wealth, its flesh a fleeting joy. A boy, his hand scaled, shares bread, his nod brief. The fisher's world is Rome's tide, its food a quiet support. Imagine a mosaic of fishes, boats bobbing, faces weathered. The rich eat oysters, their plates fine, while fishers chew to work, not live, but want looms. A bad haul, and coins dry, plates empty. Therefore, he saves bones, his pride high, his hunger low. Let's linger here, where waves slap and fires glow, and feel his steady strength. Food was whole, but also need, each bite a step in Rome's wet dance. But not all ate by docks. In villas gardeners ate, their meals green. Let's slip to a plot, where vines curl and herbs grow. Picture a garden, its air sweet, where a gardener chews leeks. No pizza, but greens, boiled and sharp. Fuel is spade, his hands soiled, break bread, his meal a taste of earth. This is Rome's root, its food a spark for growth. But want presses, pests bite, rains fail, and hunger bites. Therefore he eats slow, his plate small, his skill, his wealth. A mosaic of a garden, vines lush, with the faint hum of bees, would glow here. The gardener's meal is simple, his plate, a pause in Rome's bloom. Let's stay here, where soil crumbles and leaves rustle, and taste the garden's quiet heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the gardener's earthy bite. A Roman garden wakes under dawn's mist, its air sweet with thyme and damp soil. A gardener, his hands soiled, crouches by a row of leeks, his knife cutting their green tips, their sharpness a spark on his tongue. No tomatoes, no cities, saffron just, greens boiled with a pinch of salt, and bread, coarse but warm. Picture a mosaic of a plot, vines curling, with the faint hum of bees. His meal is simple, a pause between weeding and pruning, its flavors a taste of earth. Garum, a rare drizzle, adds temps, its salt a nod to distant seas. A jug of watered wine, its temps mild, waits his lips, its coolness a lift. The empire's root grows here, its gardens feeding villas and markets. But this isn't ease. Pests burrow, droughts crack, and frost kills. Therefore he eats slow, his bite small, his focus sharp. The garden's hum is soft leaves rustle, a spade clinks, a bird sings. His leeks grown from seed are wealth, their bite a fleeting joy. A slave, his basket heavy, sweeps, his own hunger a silent ache. Imagine a fresco of a gardener, hands dirty, bowl half full. The rich eat fine herbs, their plates grand, while gardeners chew to work, not live, but want looms. A bad season, and crops fail, plates empty. Therefore he barters a leek for cheese, a root for oil. The city's pulse roars outside, its forums loud, its baths warm. But here food is growth, each bite a spark for his spade. A woman, her basket full nods, her stew enriched. The gardener's world is Rome's bloom, its greens a quiet support. But it's fragile, a blight, and vines die, meals vanish. Therefore he saves seeds, his pride high, his hunger low. Let's linger here, where soil crumbles and leaves rustle, and feel his steady strength. Food was root, but also need each bite a step in Rome's green dance. But not all ate in gardens. In forts, engineers built, their meals plain. Let's drift to a frontier, where stones stack and stew simmers. Picture a fort, it's air dusty, where an engineer spoons lentils. No pizza but broth, thick and warm, fuels his hands. His fingers, calloused, break bread, his meal a taste of work. This is Rome's strength, its food a spark for wars, but want, presses, supplies, lag, tools, break, and hunger bites. Therefore, he eats fast, his plate small, his skill, his wealth, a mosaic of a fort. Stones rising, with the faint clang of hammers, would glow here. The engineer's meal is simple, his plate a pause in Rome's build. Let's stay here, where dust settles and fires crackle, and taste the fort's hard heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the engineer's steady bite. The fort's air is dry, its walls half-built, its stones rough under a frontier sun. The engineer, his tunic dusty, sits by a fire, his spoon dipping into lentils, their warmth thick with onions and thyme. No tomatoes, no city's cumin, just broth, cooked in a dented pot, and bread, tough but filling. Picture a fresco of a fort, hammers swinging, with a faint clank of iron. His meal is plain, a spark to lift stones and align walls, his hands steady. Garum, a faint splash, adds temps, its salt a nod to distant ports. A jug of posca, sour and thin, weights his throat, its vinegar a burn. The empire's strength rises here, its forts guarding borders, its stew fueling work. But this isn't ease. Supplies dwindle, rains soak, and raiders strike. Therefore, he eats fast, his bite small, his eyes sharp. The fort's hum is fierce, hammers clang. Ropes creak, a shout rises. His lentils, cooked by a camp slave, are wealth. Their warmth, a fleeting joy. A boy, his hands raw, shares bread, his nod brief. The engineer's world is Rome's shield, its food, a quiet support. Imagine a mosaic of builders, stones high, faces tense. The rich live in villas, their feasts grand, while engineers chew to build, not live, but want looms. A bad convoy, and sacks empty, plates dry. Therefore, he saves crumbs, his pride high, his hunger low. Let's linger here, where dust settles and fires glow, and feel his steady strength. Food was work, but also need, each bite a step in Rome's hard dance, but not all ate in forts. In cities, weavers wove, their meals plain. Let's slip to a workshop, where looms hum and bread waits. Picture a room, its air dusty, where a weaver chews crust, no pizza, but bread, smeared with lentils, fuels her hands. Her fingers, nimble, break loaf, her meal a taste of thread. This is Rome's cloth, its food a spark for looms. But want presses, wool snags, orders lag, and hunger bites. Therefore she eats slow, her plate small, her skill her wealth. A mosaic of a loom threads tight, with the faint clack of wood would glow here. The weaver's meal is simple, her plate a pause in Rome's weave. Let's stay here, where threads hum and voices murmur, and taste the workshop's quiet heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the weaver's steady bite. A Roman workshop hums at noon, its air dusty with wool and flax. A weaver, her hands nimble, sits at a loom, her fingers dancing through threads, her cloth growing inch by inch. On a stool, her meal waits a crust of bread, its surface smeared, with lentils their temps faint but warm. No tomatoes, no city's saffron, just oil, slick on the tongue, and a pinch of salt to wake the crust. Picture a mosaic of a loom, threads tight, with the faint clack of wood. Her meal is plain, a pause between rows, its flavors a spark for her hands. Garum, a rare drizzle, adds Thames, its salt, a nod to distant seas. A jug of watered wine, its Thames, mild waits her lips, its coolness a lift. The empire's cloth grows here, its tunics and sails born of her skill. But this isn't ease. Threads snap, orders lag, and hunger dulls. Therefore she eats slow, her bites small, her focus sharp. The workshop's hum is soft looms clack. A child hums, a spindle spins. Her lentils cooked at dawn are wealth, their warmth a fleeting joy. A slave, her basket heavy, sweeps, her own hunger a silent ache. Imagine a fresco of a weaver, eyes fixed, bowl half full. The rich wear fine wool, their feasts grand, while weavers chew to work, not live, but want looms. A bad market, and coins, dry, plates empty. Therefore, she barters a cloth for cheese, a shawl for figs. The city's pulse roars outside, its forums loud, its baths warm. But here, food is thread, each bite a spark for her loom. A woman, her order urgent nods, her tunic fresh. The weaver's world is Rome's cloth, its lentils a quiet support, but it's fragile, a torn thread, and she starves, her skill questioned. Therefore, she saves crumbs, her pride high, her hunger low. Let's linger here, where threads hum, and voices murmur, and feel her steady strength. Food with skill, but also need, each bite a step in Rome's soft dance. But not all ate in workshops. In fields, vintners worked, their meals sweet. Let's drift to a vineyard, where grapes ripen, and wine ferments. Picture a slope, its air rich, where a vintner chews fruit. No pizza, but grapes, juicy and tart, fuel his press, his hands, stained, break bread, his meal, a taste of vine. This is Rome's wine, its food, a spark for barrels, but want presses. Frost kills, pests bite, and hunger gnaws. Therefore he eats fast, his plate small, his skill his wealth. A mosaic of a vineyard, vines heavy, with the faint crush of grapes, would glow here. The vintner's meal is simple, his plate a pause. In Rome's poor, let's stay here, where vines sway and fires crackle, and taste the vineyard's rich heart. Stay with me, let Rome's whispers lull you, and feel the vintner's juicy bite. The vineyard's air is rich, its slopes warm with sun and grape dust. The vintner, his tunic stained, stands by a press, his hands crushing grapes, their juice sticky and tart. His meal rests on a stone, a handful of grapes, their skins bursting, and bread, coarse but warm. No tomatoes, no city's dill, just oil, drizzled light, and a pinch of salt to wake the tongue. Picture a fresco of a vineyard, baskets full, with the faint crush of fruit. His meal is quick, a spark to tread grapes and filled barrels. His arms, strong garum too sharp for his taste, stays in the villa, its salt unneeded. A jug of last year's wine, its tang bold, waits his lips, its warmth a lift. The empire's wine flows here, its barrels feeding feasts and temples. But this isn't ease. Frost kills vines, pests burrow, and wine sours. Therefore, he eats fast, his bite small, his eyes sharp. The vineyard's hum is soft, vines rustle, a worker sings, a barrel creaks. His grapes plucked at dawn are wealth, their juice a fleeting joy. A boy, his hand sticky, shares bread, his nod brief. The vintner's world is Rome's poor, its grapes a quiet support. Imagine a mosaic of vintners, presses turning, faces,